Oh, shit, it's Thursday. Shit. This time for real, though. Actually, Thursday. Not like yesterday, which was fake Thursday. Oh, hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. How you doing? Hi, Rune Snips. Hi, K-Bell. Hi, Llama. Hi, Hero. Hi, Kingsley. Hi, Tony. Hi, Pixels. Hi, Mars. Rosie Posey, Danny, Cabe. I already said both your names. Catilla, Oliver. Ryan, has anybody ever nicknamed you Rye Bread? Yes. A couple different people. I'll be honest with you. I don't hate it. It is, oh, hi, girly. I don't hate it. I never really think about it at all. Hey, today's a no-cam stream, so I'm going to go ahead and give the dogs their treats. Shout out to Luke, Danny, and Oliver for the dog treats. You guys are going to have to take me on my word here, okay? Hi, Panda. How you doing? Guys, so our daughter is weird. What's that? You're paying your respects to the knob. Nobody in chat is going to understand that, but I'm going to do my best to explain it. So here's the deal. Our daughter is obsessed. I'm staring out the door, down the hallway. Megan is holding Elle. Elle has her hands on the banister, like on like the banister pole on our like hallway stairway railing. So like, you know, like a stairwell, right? Like you've got those like posts at the corners. Elle is obsessed with them. Every time we carry Elle up or down the stairs, let me see if I can find a good image for you real quick. What? I can't hear you. You're texting me a picture. Okay, well, I can't show that because I'm not doing cam. One second. Sure. You can also just post it in general. That's probably the easiest way. So long story short, Elle is obsessed with, for some reason, the like the we call it the knob. There we go. Every time we go up and down the stairs, Elle reaches out for the knob. You know? The knob. She's obsessed with it. She's currently just sitting there. Oh, she just took her hand off. But she just sits there. She puts her hands on it. She touches the knob. Somebody who knows anything about babies, tell me why this happens. Does she think it's a boob? It's not un-boob shaped. Yep, she's touching the knob still. And like you'll carry her past and she'll just reach out with both hands, touch the knob. We worship the knob. What's that? Yeah. She ponders the orb. The night orb. The orb. Holy DMs, Batman. They're fucking bad, dude. They've been bad. I'm in trouble. They're bad. I need to get that. I need to get the DMs figured out. We'll get there. Right? Anyway, she yearns for the knob. Hi, Orange Peels, by the way. First time chatter. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you all doing? Tony says we have a boob light in our hallway. Emma stares and gets such a big smile when we walk under it. That reminds me, when we stream tonight for board game night, we will be streaming directly underneath our boob light. So remind me on stream tonight and I'll show you the boob light. Speaking of board game night, oh baby, do we have A board game night for you. Hold on, let me find an image. Dead of Winter happening tonight at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so 7 hours and 15 minutes from right now. We're going to play Dead of Winter, Megan and I, at our kitchen table. Will the stream setup be absolutely scuffed? Probably. Will it be audible? I hope. Will it be visible? Most likely. There will be a stream. That I'm 100% confident of. 99% confident of. You will be able to see stuff. I'm 80% confident of that. I'm 60% confident you'll be able to hear stuff. Will you be able to understand the game? 20% confidence on that one. If stream is great tonight, you can all thank me. If it sucks, you can thank Ryan. I think you're to blame either way, unfortunately. Hi, Formy. Formy's lurking. Sounds good. Exclamation D20. Speak not of the night Yorb. That's true. I shouldn't have said it. Carly's never to blame. How dare you? I don't know. I think occasionally to blame. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think a little bit. Welcome to stream. We're going to play some Satisfactory for the afternoon. I'm clocking in at the Satisfactory. We're going to make the factory run efficiently. Or at least less badly than it ran last time. I'm very excited. I've never made a mistake in my whole life. I'll be honest with you. We all know it's not true, right? But can you imagine in the like sci-fi world where a person had never made a single mistake? Like the thought experiment of a person who has never made a single mistake. Doesn't that sound both like sterile? Doesn't that sound like a sterile life? And then also, doesn't it sound so fucking boring? Carla makes one big mistake every day, which is talking to me. That's true. That's true. We all make that mistake. We talked to Mars today. Oh, hello, beautiful people of the internet. We're here. We're satisfactorying. I should probably add that. We'll add this guy on screen just to make you all freak out a little bit. Welcome back. We're playing Satisfactory. It's a no-cam kind of day. And I'm excited to continue. Last we left off, we just started a vertical bus. A radical idea that I'm really excited to try out and really sort of dreading making it all piece together. We have a vertical bus. I'm very excited to... Once it's running, it'll be awesome. To get it up and running is going to be the biggest pain in the ass you've ever seen. But we'll get there. So, here's kind of the state of the game right now. I'm gonna give you a quick overview, and then we can get back to talking about whatever bullshit we normally talk about on Twitch stream. Here's the state of the game. So, one, we desperately need, what are they called? O for codex. Nope. O for codex. Encased industrial beams. We desperately need encased industrial beams to build these, our conveyors, our lifts, and to build Mark IV belts, which are going to shove everything into our factory, which is then going to go vertical. So we are sort of playing a waiting game on that. Currently, we have 94, 95. It's the first little purple button, 96 on the left. 97. That's just going to take a while to compile. And also, we can't just let it compile forever because we're putting it into the cloud, into the college fund. Like, none of this makes... I'm realizing that you cannot talk about this game in a way that makes sense to people who just may or may not understand the game. So it's like, long story short, we have to stay close to here to keep updating belts, but also we have to let it work for 5 minutes to do that before we do anything else. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do at that time? Well, we have to wait for it to compile, right? I have an immediate thought, which is Luke says, hi, YouTube. Enjoy this episode. It's a good one. You don't know that. You don't know that it'll be a good episode. We're still living it in the moment. I hope it will be. I have an idea, which is that we should probably fuck around with trains, right? I really want to know how trains work. And the only way to do that is to fuck around and find out. We must set up an electric locomotive, pulling a freight car, pulling into a train station, running on railways, see how we automate it, see how it works. Hi, YouTube. Enjoy this episode. It's a bad one. We also don't know that. In a way, we do know that. It's a bad one in that I play this game badly. But it is also, Luke was right, it's a good one in that we spent it together. And it's always good when we spend our time together. Right? So here's my thought. I know we just tore down an enormous wide little canvas area over here. But I think we need to build a new canvas area, like a blank canvas, to mess with trains on. We can do it right beside this blueprint area so that we can blueprint stuff if we need to, like a train station or something. Because we're going to have to load trains. We're going to have to figure out how to automate them running to the places they need to go. We're going to need to unload those same trains. We're going to need to probably fuel those trains. If I know anything about this game... Oh, I just got a Steam achievement. Build 5,000 foundations. If I know anything about this game based on another factory game that starts with an F, then... Ryan, I don't like seeing fix it not mirrored in your helmet. That's funny because so many people don't like seeing it backwards. But I tend to agree with you. What if we did this? Is that better? And what if we put it in a different spot? Just peeking over the side of the... That's way too big. Holy sh... Oh, no, I lost it. What if we just put it, like, peeking over the edge of the screen? I feel like right here is a pretty good spot. Leave it. Hold up. We need to like rotate it a little bit too, right? How do you rotate on OBS? Rotate 90 degrees? No, I want to rotate like... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is. Turn it upside down and hang it from the top. It's Vampire Factory Ryan watching you. Transform, rotate 30 degrees. Wait, I can't do that in OBS, can I? You've just punked me. You've punked me. Hi, Ella. How's it going? Long story short, I think we should fuck with trains. To build trains, I need plastic and rubber, which I have a little bit of. But I also can build railway for free. So... why can't I rotate this? What do you fucking mean I can't rotate it? What? Not that. That's not what I wanted. Okay, that's going to be a weird thing. Okay. Okay. Do you never get tired of playing the same game for too long? What are you referring to? Can you rephrase your question in a different way? Do I never get tired of playing the same game for too long? I get tired of playing the same game for too long, occasionally. I usually just quit when that happens. Am I tired of playing Satisfactory for too long? No, not at all. I need a little bit of plastic and a little bit of rubber. If that was a like, aren't you tired of playing Satisfactory? No, I do get tired of playing games, certain games. I usually just stop because if I'm not having fun, then no one is having fun on stream. It's sort of my main opinion about things. So it seems like you seem to never quit games. Oh, that's not true. I've quit a lot of games. And some of them, and a lot of them were actually games I was having fun. I just didn't have time to play them. I quit. There are occasionally, for YouTube, there are occasionally games that I probably should have quit a little bit earlier, but I was really close to like completing them or whatever, and so I kept playing. Evo has a couple that just happened in chat. Skyrim and The Witcher 3. I don't know that that's how I would phrase it. Like the way I just phrased it is correct, but I did get a little like I was sort of ready to be on to the next thing. I was still having fun with the game, but I was ready to be on to the next thing. But I was in the process of doing 200 hours or 300 hours or whatever. So it was like, can I remove these from this? I cannot. Shit. So we actually do need a little bit more plastic. Or sorry, yeah, plastic. I don't know, but I've DNF'd plenty of games. He never finished Witcher 3? No, I did finish Witcher 3. That's what we're saying is there were times where I was like, oh my god, this game is so long, and there's like 3 DLCs, and we should go on the wires to go get plastic from our factory. But I did finish it. I didn't really even debate not finishing it. I just was like, I'm kind of ready to be on to the next thing, but I'm going to finish it because I'm this far into it. In a way, finishing it is its own form of fun. You know? That said, I also... Evo has a great point. It's not like I 100% Skyrim. It's not like I 100% The Witcher 3. I did a lot of it, but I didn't completely 100% it. Because if I did, I would have been there for another year. I don't know. I do feel really proud though that like minus doing it a couple. I don't even know how to phrase this, because then it sounds like I was like bored with The Witcher 3 or bored with Skyrim. That's not the case. I was just like, I've been doing this for like Skyrim. I released 320 episodes. I've been doing it for almost a year, a month short of a year. I played Skyrim every day. I wasn't like tired of the game. I wasn't bored with it, but I was certainly also ready for something new. Witcher was the same. That game's amazing, but it did towards the end. I was like, I've been playing this game for 8 months. It feels like. I think it was maybe 8 months. Yeah. Exactly. But alongside that, I would say, I'm trying to think. I hope that I'm not lying here. I think I have basically, otherwise I've basically quit a game if I was bored of it, or kept playing a game. You know, like I basically will quit a game if I'm bored. And we have, or for a number of other reasons, but like, we've definitely DNF'd games. Marina says I got the flu and I'm gonna blame Ryan. You can blame me if I coughed on you. I don't know, man. I got my flu shot. I don't know that you can blame me. Okay, let's go back. Please tell me that I can reach this. Please tell me I can reach it! I fucking whiffed! Ouch. Sometimes games also become DNF because of events like Pikmin 2, Silent Hill. Yeah, Night in the Woods. Night of the Woods? Night in the Woods. Plenty of co-op games get DNF'd because they just didn't, like Megan and I didn't have the time together to schedule it. Like Grounded, Valheim we stopped early. Hopefully we still get back to it, but it's been months. Oh, I know how to talk about this. Pal World for sure, Tony, which sucks because I've been playing some Pal World in my free time. Astrobot? Oh, I got to tell you. Hilariously, Astrobot is sort of a great example of like, I enjoyed it, but I also recognized this game isn't exactly for me. And so I just will stop playing it. Like, I'm sure Astrobot is objectively a great game. But with my limited one life, I was just like, I don't know that it's the game I should be playing because I don't know any of these references. It is fun, but somebody else, I'm not the right audience for this. Okay, here's what I was going to say about here's what I've been trying to get to this entire time and which I have failed to get to. What I've been talking my way around. I would say I am a kind of person who, the minute my interest is waning, you are able to tell. I wear my like interest and my heart on my sleeves. I'm enthusiastic about things until I'm not, right? Like I am... Oh, it's interesting that our Fixmas shit stayed here. Did we lose the... Oh, we did maybe lose the raw materials. I wondered if this would happen, but we kept that. So we kept the Christmas tree, but we lost the raw materials? We did not lose the raw materials. Fucking weird. I thought for sure either the raw materials and the decorations would be gone, but they're both here. Interesting. Okay. Did you finish the game of Sisyphus? I did finish the game of Sisyphus. Hi, Lumella. We're soaring. Long story short, I'm a person who wears my enthusiasm on my sleeve. I feel like my enthusiasm is either very evident or very absent. And I also like, this is quote unquote my job. And the reason I love this as a job, making video games, is one, I have an incredible community. But two, like, I like getting to choose what I work on and what I am enthusiastic about. Like, if the goal was just like play the games that like have the biggest audience or make me the most money or something, we'd be playing Dark Souls right now. Like, it ain't like that, right? We'd be playing Dark Souls, or like we'd be nothing but a Zelda channel or something like that. I don't know what the right metaphor is here. Jesus fucking Christ, we're so fast. But it's not that. I get to play what I want to play and am enthusiastic to play. And the reverse of that is just that, like, if I'm not enthusiastic about something, I'll stop. But I tend to remain enthusiastic. When I knew I was going to be playing Satisfactory today, I spent my shower and my breakfast time thinking about wondering how trains would work in this game. So we're going to find out. Also, first things first, how many... I have 300. Okay, so we need to be using our encased industrial belts. We have 300. We need to be using them. So what's the best thing to do? We could just chuck this up. Oh boy, game is lagging. Anyways, long story short, if the question was, aren't you any less enthusiastic about Satisfactory anymore? The answer is no. I love this game. It's great. I'm really looking forward to beating it. I also am a person who enjoys the like persistent part of a game like this. It's like, no, if you're going to beat it, you got to be persistent. Like, you got to... Okay, what is in lane 4? I enjoy the long haul. Lane 4 is iron plate. Or at least it was at one point. Bye, Evo. Good luck with productivity. Good luck. Man, standing still on these belts is going to be the death of me, though. I will say that. On these Mark IV belts. It's so rough. Okay, let's replace as much of this as we can. I also need more fuel for my jetpack. We're really low. We go to there. This is here. Shouldn't that just be added to the next belt? Yes, I should go grab biofuel because I'm going to be out like literally any second now. Is today a shorter stream prepping for tonight or same as usual? Hopefully it'll be a longer stream, like a normal 3 to 4 hour. But Elle has been a little grumpy, so if Megan needs backup, I will go give backup. But yeah. Personally, Satisfactory becomes too much grind for me, so I grind until I get burned out, and then I move on to the next game. Yeah, that's fair. Oh my god. I need to be able to pause. There we go. So I think what we do here is just, this is just Mark 1. I think we just remove it. Like we put a merger down here. That was the belt I was standing on. We do something like that, except better. That will work. It's ugly, but we're only doing one belt for all of these things. That's my new philosophy. I gotta hook that back up. Ah! I'm gonna lose it. I cannot stand still on this goddamn belt. There we go. That's interesting. This part right here is not connected. We can tell Emma isn't feeling great because she's been very whiny. I think a combo of cold and teeth. She just wants snuggles all the time. Doesn't even want to sit in her chair to eat. Interesting. How many teeth does Emma have? Because we're still on the 1 train, or the 2 train, like just 2 teeth. And it's, we keep blaming teething for every issue, but it keeps not being teeth. Lumella says, I love how differently brains work. I like watching these streams, but absolutely cannot fathom playing a game like this myself. Too much work. I love working through a puzzle in something like Zelda, but somehow it's different. IDK. It's funny because how do you feel about late game Stardew? Because the later you get in Stardew, the more I feel like I'm running an actual, like, business. Well, I don't know. I guess this is weird because I kind of feel like I'm running a business or like a factory here too, right? But like, I guess the way I would say it is that like late game Stardew, I feel. Strawberry says it's my fucking jam. It's funny because I feel very like kind of like if you can do late game Stardew, that means you're clocking in for it like. Late game Stardew to me kind of feels like clocking in for an unfun shift at work, right? But I'm sure people look at this. I think, I mean, I even made my going live notification today that I was clocking in for another shift at the factory. But, you know, I view that with literally zero negative connotations when it comes to this game. But late game Stardew, I do look at that and I'm like, oh boy. You better have, like, packed a lunch, you know? Okay, this is what I meant by we're going to have to do a little bit of just like taking a break from stuff to go do this belt shit all day. But the good news is once we do it, it will eventually be done. Forever. Oh my god, there's not things here. For me, if you're running complex systems and ideas and I want it to be colorful and cute. If I'm running complex systems and ideas and it looks like a little complicated factory, I'm out. You need to coat the system in cuteness. Like there's other parts of Stardew. Stardew as just one example. Stardew being the example of like, it's cute and therefore your complex system is worth running. And I don't know, if you can find it in your heart to love Factorio, then like, to me, I feel like you love a complex problem game for the sake of the problem itself and the solutions, right? You aren't dating anyone here. It's a factory. It's true. But I think dating someone can be fun. And I think like being deeply engaged in a min-maxy resource management wicked problem type problem can also be fun. Which I know is not what you're saying. It's just like, I think it is just truly a level of like different strokes type of vibe, right? Like, I also know like some people find the dating just to be like stressful, right? For some people, I think the dating is like, oh my God, I got so confused when that said rotor. Some people, and maybe some people is me, some people the dating is like, that brings social stuff into it, and that brings like, you know, that brings the risk of love. What if you get dumped? The reasons people like Satisfactory remind me why I like coding. You know what, Luke? As a person who has worked with you on some coding projects, and by with you, I mean I have watched as you solved coding solved coding issues. I will say that there is a familiar gleam in your eye when I mention to you something interesting that is broken with our cards website or causing an interesting issue. There's like a gleam in the eye of the DM that you send me back, which is like, well, that's interesting. And then your mind like leaps to 6 different possible things that it could be, or you'd be like, oh wait. Right, but it would probably be a tough sell if someone said, now go home and code as the games you play too. No, I don't think so. I worded that weirdly. I'm glad you recognized it. Just because capitalism has turned a thing you love into a job doesn't mean the thing itself is without its like true beauty. And like, you know, there are architects who they're like, this shit is my jam, and then they go home and they play probably SimCity 2000 or whatever, City Builder X, and they're like, this shit is still my jam. I don't know. This one's cable. It's funny. I think 3 for 3 when I have streamed the games, the factory games that I have streamed, Factorio, Dyson Sphere Program, and now Satisfactory. 3 for 3. I'm sure each one of those has had a stream where people have been like, but why is this fun? Like, and not in a judgmental way, but just in a like, copper wire? Wait. There it is. Okay. I was like, why is there not an icon? What do you, like, isn't this just work? Is 9 copper ingot. Wrong one. Shit. Ah! Fuck. Sounds better than grinding for shinies. You know what's funny? On 3 for 3 of those conversations, on at least a couple of those conversations, we probably were like, I don't know, sounds more fun than grinding for shinies. Steel beams. You know what else I think it is? It's like, I think one of the other things that happens here in this game for me is that the correct one? Yep, steel beam. Okay. I think there's just like there's a bunch of like adjacent pleasures as well, right? The pleasure of solving a like complex problem. I say complex, but they're not even all that complex. Solving a problem that requires like planning and forethought and a little bit of like coding type like what is the most efficient way to make to deliver X resource. Oh, that's the wrong button. Again, I did it twice. I think that's the like main draw, right? And I think a ton of people find it fun. I think the success of the game is like one way you could look at it and be like, I mean, games like this are wildly successful in their little communities, especially. But I think also you can just be like, there's adjacent fun too, right? Like I think organizing is really fun. And if you have never gotten a single bit of pleasure from modular frames organizing something, that's fine. But you have to recognize that other people did, right? Like, it'd be foolish to be like, nah, I don't get what these people are up to. Why is that so tiny? Did I mess that up, or is that correct? No, it looks good. Okay. You're totally right. I completely get what you're saying. Also, no, give me immediate gratification now. This is raising an interesting theoretical question for me. What is the opposite of a game like this? Is it a slot machine? I want to like put in effort at solving a logistical problem, and then once I have solved it once, recognize how stupid I have been and solve it 2 to 3 to 4 more times. And I feel like maybe the opposite of that is I want no effort and I want to win because I got lucky. Like, I don't know. Like, the other thing that I think I have not really sold you on here or represented here yet is like, there's something I think really, truly beautiful about a game where the good, bad, ugly, the how quickly did you solve it is truly and utterly 100% dependent upon how well you understood and conceptualized of the problem. Plenty of games, the result is a direct response. The result is a direct like one-to-one result of how well you mastered a skill or solved a problem or read a wiki, if that's how you play games, because some people do, and no judgment. If you're like, I want to find the best solution that somebody else solved and then I want to put it on the board, cool, totally fine with me. I'm not here to judge you. But I find I find a weird draw. We're going to beat this game in probably not 200 hours, probably not 300 hours. Like, whatever the number is, it'll be that number because of how much I talk to chat and because of how I misconstrued the first 100 hours of the game or 50 hours of the game to build a horizontal bus that was, I think, a decent but not great solution to the problem, right? That's kind of enthralling to me that like I'm gonna live and die by my own blade here. That's for sure. I'm gonna live and die, and mostly die by my own blade. But 16 was technically Hypertube. Oh, but it was also Sam. So 16 is Sam. We'll do that. Ryan, streaming Satisfactory is my favorite interactive podcast. Mood, I haven't learned a single thing about how this game works. I just like listening in for the fun combos. Shout out to you guys, because I think I'm very lucky that many of you guys put up with games that, games that might not be up your alley, And then there's something even further than that, which is like a game that I cannot even begin to understand what is happening, or like have no interest in understanding what is happening. And if you're still here, that's out to you. Staters. I don't know how caught up to date my belts are, but or my list is here that I'm looking at. I have a notepad that has my. You know what we should be doing? Fuck. Just now occurred to me. We should be doing this on our blueprint. Because then we only have to do it on this is interesting. I don't want to have to redo this every time. On every floor. Can you imagine? Okay. Well, I've just determined what the next hour is going to be. Which is running around, grabbing. Eventually what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go Control-C, run over to our blueprint, hit Control-V, and then come back. Oh, well. We'll figure it out. Anything for the cult? Something you do very well is commentating. Silence at the right times and interesting combos when there's not much happening. Some streamers just yap, yap, yap. Oh, boy. Thank you. I don't know that I agree, but thank you. I feel like I yap a ton. I feel like I yap so fucking much. Thank you, though. All right, I'm going to check some things off my checklist here. Coal, done. Rotors, done. Iron rods, iron plate, iron ingot, done. Next, we have reinforced iron plate. And we still have 300 things, so we're still zooming. You yap in an engaging and thoughtful way. All right. Who paid you guys to be so kind today? Siege, what's up?
30 months, yo. Can't believe it's been 2.5 years.
2.5 years. That is crazy. Hi, Siege. How you doing? Oh, my God. I love it when the belt is already placed. It's truly the best. It's simply the best. Did I get all of that? I did. How you doing, Siege? I don't know. It is a wonder that humans can find the things. Like, we have this conversation. Oh man, I think this was Slime Rancher forever ago. And I still think about it pretty often. During the Slime Rancher streams, we had Slime Rancher. I don't know why I'm saying it like Foo Fighters. Slime Rancher. We had this conversation which was like something about like I could never find. Somebody in chat said I could never find X interesting. I could never find Y interesting. And I was like, oh boy, you have a confidence maybe in your identity or something that I do not have. Because to me, the question is not like, or the debate is not like, the debate is not, will I ever find this random assorted topic or hobby or thing that humans do interesting. It is merely, when will I find it interesting? The other day, I'm not gonna lie to you, you saw it. We played Puck on stream. That night, I watched fucking NHL highlights. Have I ever watched an NHL game in my life? No. That's actually not true. I probably did as a kid because I read some of those like NHL, like those young adult like getting into sports books, and I probably was like, I'm gonna be an NHL player someday. I guess what I'm saying is like I have zero confidence that I won't find anything random very interesting in the next 5 years. I have no idea where my interest is going to take me next. Siege says, I'm doing okay. Trying to decide what to do with my time today. I've already applied for a writing job or two. Yo, today? Congrats, dude. Doing the hard work. Applications. Hell yeah. Is that relatable? Like, I have no, like, I think it's a good thing. It probably also, Megan makes fun of me for it constantly, but like, I have no idea what I'm going to find interesting tomorrow. And I kind of love that. I think Megan thinks it's maybe a little bit exhausting, but, you know, for me, it's great. I love not knowing tomorrow what is going to be super interesting to me. Why'd you make it start snowing again? Dude, Arena, it's bad. I heard we're getting more snow today. Did that work? Please tell me it worked. It worked. Watching too much Severance with Christopher Walken. Hi, Marchildon. Marchildon, how's it going? Marchildon. Welcome in. Fully unrelated, but I liked your tangent in yesterday's Ocarina of Time about writing, expectations, and Lake Hylia. For me, I tend to pay attention to the way they use music in Zelda plus its game design, so it's neat to see the writing celebrated in ways I hadn't thought about before. I feel like I need a musical expert lurking over my shoulder every day when I play Zelda games to be like, hey, did you notice this? No, I'll tell you what I really need is just a reminder, hey, pay attention to the music. I feel like that's the thing I probably underappreciate the most. I just get so distracted. That's my defense. Have you ever had... So Formy says, that's me with soccer. I never thought I'd enjoy it. I thought it was boring. Then I started watching it with a group of 40-plus people every week, started to understand the beauty of the game. Now I'm waking up at 4:30 a.m. on my weekends to watch Arsenal/EPL games. Can you think of a human hobby that you can confidently say you would never have any interest in? At no point in your life you will ever have any interest in it. I need to keep thinking on it, but I don't know. My go-to example for a while was like cars, but like, because I'm just generally not a car person, but like, Arena said rubbing. Shoot, I meant running. There's a joke in there. There's a sex joke in there somewhere, but okay, Arena, you say running, but 2032 Olympics, is that when it goes to LA? 2032 Olympics roll around, right? They're hosted in LA. You're sick in August with some sort of respiratory illness. You're laid up on the couch for a week. The only thing on TV is running. The broadcasters spin you the interesting story of the hometown hero from LA. First time marathon debut, running the marathon at the 2028 is LA? Shit. I knew LA was coming up. I didn't know which one it was. You couldn't find it in you at all to be interested? If you answer no, that's okay. I'm not judging you and I'm not disagreeing with you. It's your life. It's your interest. But I'm susceptible to that shit, you know? Is watching a runner in the Olympics being interested in running as a hobby, though? I mean, isn't it sort of the window in? Isn't it sort of like that's where it starts? Where it could start? All of a sudden you're following that runner on Instagram. You're up to date on what their hopes are for the 2032 Olympics. You've learned a little bit from their Instagram captions about like the new sponsorship they're taking, how they're switching shoe companies, the drama around so-and-so's performance worlds and their doping allegations. Like, isn't that kind of just how you get roped in? We're humans. There's like a human interest story in there, right? I don't know if I am abnormal on this, or if I certainly am not saying one way is better than the other. But oh boy, do I get... I'm so susceptible to being like, I'm just interested. I don't know what to say. I'm just interested. It's probably the generous way to say it is I'm being interested. I don't know what the other way to say it is. Okay, we need to put a splitter here. We're going to get done with this entire process, and then I'm going to hate the way the new vertical bus works, and we're going to have to undo the whole thing. Can't wait. Can't wait. Okay, so I need to technically split off of this thing in 2 ways. Millions of people watch the Olympics, don't do any of those sports. The Olympics could be a way in, but I don't think it's that common. I don't know, man. I know way more about gymnastics than I ever did purely because of the, you know, like, that's my way into those things, right? Taxidermy is probably a good one. But then you're just still one, like, hour-long, interesting human interest YouTube documentary away from being, at least I am, away from being like, oh my God, taxidermy is a storied, historical art, and there's right and wrong ways to do it. Like, I get, like, am I crazy here? I think the things humans do are interesting because humans do them. I think there's probably at the heart of taxidermy, somewhere in the taxidermy hobby or field, an interest story about, like, the old way of doing things, the new way of doing things, a person who's like a maverick in the way that they do things. I think humans are interesting. I think I need clarity here, Ryan. Are you conflating appreciating something with, like, being into the hobby? I've been using the word interesting. Being interested in something. I appreciate that these things exist, and I'm happy for people who do them and could even be interested in hearing how they do them. I think that that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you could be interested. I'm saying almost anything could hold my interest. I'll watch an hour-long documentary on almost any hobby if it is interesting. If it's presented in an interesting way. At that point, I think you're interested in the people who did or consumed taxidermy, but I do think you're right. Okay, I think you're onto something there. But then, don't each of these hobbies have sort of at their core? And it differs, like, from human interest to hobby to field to etc. Don't they each have their, like, their interesting... what's the way to even phrase it? They're like, they're trade-offs. They're like, what's the avant-garde of this field doing versus the old way? What's the new tech? What's the like, there's just always a new angle on, like, on how it's going. Hi, Sven. How's it going? Why are we talking about taxidermy? Because I think Mars finally located the hobby that I don't actually have any interest in, and it's taxidermy. Okay, we're going from the far side there to one of these, which is not going to fit. I don't care how this looks. So I'll do that. Then we'll do that. We'll do this. To circle this back around, I basically just don't feel... To me, this is like, this topic is where I was trying to go with this topic is mostly an issue of like, it's sort of an issue of identity. I don't feel confident saying with any type of certainty that in the way that like humans find pursuits to interest them, capture their attention, spend their time on, etc. I have almost zero confidence that I could say with certainty what will or won't be in my future in that way. You know? Does looking at bad taxidermy count? Yeah, that makes sense, Mars. Maybe it's the difference between the story and the theme or something to that effect. I can be interested in a well-told story about almost anything. I feel you, Ryan. I find incuriosity very disturbing. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I do think, too, like, I think there's also one more thing we should say on this front, or at least that I should say on this front, is I, too, find it, like... I also think... How do I phrase this? Sometimes I think, like, curiosity... For lack of a better word, like, curiosity is a privilege. Like, when I'm more depressed, I'll tell you what, I don't find much interesting. In terms of, like, finding things interesting, that's sort of the last thing I have it in my capacity to do when I am depressed and my mental health is in the shitter, right? So it's like... On the one hand, I truly think I could find... I think it's just like in almost any corner of life, you can find interesting things to look at. Except for when I'm depressed, in which case nothing is interesting to look at. Okay, so what we're going to do here is probably actually do this. Delete. Delete. Go merger. Go here. Go there. Need to reconnect the old line. Go somewhere over here. Oh, I'm getting some like lag in the game. Some framiness. Okay, there we go. This is a weird way for me to tell you that this is a weird way for me to approach this topic, but I have some news, guys. I'm actually, this was all a long con. I'm retiring the Little Indigestion YouTube and Twitch accounts, and I will be starting a taxidermy YouTube account. I've actually filmed some videos already. I won't be releasing those videos because I don't want to spoil what happened, but, well, the authorities got called, and I'm no longer in possession of the taxidermies. So there will be content coming soon. It's just not out yet. As soon as the legal dispute is figured out, I will have those back, my models, my works, and then we'll get back to it. But until then, turn notifications on Little Indigestion taxidermy. I want to do a splitter, just a normal splitter. And I want to delete that. Then I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. From fucking... I'm getting stuck. From fucking here to there. And then there to there. Came back at a weird time. Oh, came back at a weird time. You did come back at a weird time. Is this gonna fit? It is gonna fit. Hell yeah. God, this is so goddamn ugly. Good thing when we get this into our vertical bus, nothing will ever, we'll never ever have any ugly belts again. I don't know if these Mark IV belts are making my game lag, but oh boy, the FPS is. Hello? Stand. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hi, Shammy. Oh, no. Ugly belts ever again. That's good to hear. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. There'll never be an ugly belt again. Okay, so it's copper wire. We're doing well. We're doing well. Right around here, we're going to have an issue where everything's going to have to start moving over by 8 lanes. Which is going to be interesting, but... You know what my actual answer to the thing I find it most difficult to be interested in? I think it's a weird one because it's like the most common thing in the world. We all do it. And I struggle to have any fucking interest in it, period. I can't, so far, I can't in my life. I can't do like cooking stuff. Like, I cannot find interest in any cooking content. It's probably that I just haven't found the right things. It's like probably I need to be watching some Anthony Bourdain or something, but like food for me is just like I struggle with making it, with finding anything interesting in it. I like to eat it. And I know, all of the things I just said, I feel pretty confident defending my point of view on. This one, I have zero confidence defending my point of view. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, objectively. I know I'm an idiot. I know it's, like, it's just dumb, frankly. That's so close-minded of you. It is. No, truly. I truly think it is. I mean... I do know that, like, I do, like, understand. I think I understand that, like, we should fucking just turn this into one thing. I'm sure I'm wrong. I like watching cooking shows, but I hate cooking. Well, I don't hate it, I guess. I'm just always too tired to do it. Yeah, I mean, I think in the way we were talking about earlier, I don't think that means you're uninterested in it. To me, my definition of, like, lack of interest in cooking is, like, I don't even watch cooking shows. Like, not only do I not do it personally... I also don't do, like, croquet professional, but... Okay, so then we just delete these and hope nothing is hooked up to them. Yeah, those are those different definitions we were talking about. Okay, something right here. We need to hook that up. 4, that's 4. We'll just do this the old-fashioned, ugly way. That is the most god-awful thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I do really love food. I love to eat food. It's not even that I love food. I just love how food makes me feel. What's the cooking content that you watch? Not that Molly says my husband and I watch the sorted YouTube channel all the time. It's cooking content. He's not into cooking, but still enjoys most of it. Maybe you'll take an interest in cooking later. I found that my interest in cooking goes up if I have people to cook for. Pootrark, I got to tell you, I think it is very likely that my interest in cooking goes up because of the amount of meals I'm going to have to prepare. I think you're probably on the money there. God forbid we ever need more than, what is it, 480? 480 resources on any single belt. God forbid. You awake? Nice. Where the fuck am I going here? This is a mess. This is a mess. How long has the belt upgrade taken? Well, we're not probably a quarter of the way done with it. And we have been going for like an hour. We're still going, that's for sure. We got a lot of belt upgrading to do. It's going to take a while. But at least we're having interesting talks. Interesting to me. I think it's just right here. I think it's just right here. Did those things go? This is more copper being put on, sure. There does not need to be a through line afterwards. Okay, so that's good. That needs taken care of. Where we need to split this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to leave before Orion says something like he's not interested in breathing or some shit. I have to figure out my next game series, either Outer Wilds or Metro. I know this group is a bit biased. I do love Outer Wilds. I do love it. I'm super interested in breathing. I like breathing. Super interested. Okay, Mark 4 here. Then we need to go like... God, I'm destroying our old factory to make the... Oh, Jesus, this is stuck in the Zoop tube. Destroying our old factory to make this work. Is really a crime. I think it was right here because this takes copper wire, gets split. Perfect. As a runner, you probably know more about breathing than most. The funny thing is, it's actually really interesting. No, I need to stop using that word. Generally, people who are newer to the sport of running think breathing is more complicated than it is. People who are newer to the sport of running oftentimes get fed content or get fed bullshit that it's like, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And that is the way to guarantee your oxygen supply is greatest. Or that's the way to guarantee you're not pushing too hard. The amount of times I have thought about breathing while running in the last 5 years that wasn't just basically, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die. I need more oxygen in my lungs is zero. Like, it is funny though. People are always like, and there were some runners back in the 70s who trained by breathing through straws on runs Because they were like, well, if running is like an oxygen limited, if running fast is like an oxygen limited endeavor, then like the less oxygen we get in, the better, right? Like people are living at altitude. Why don't we just fucking breathe through a straw? No good science has been done on whether or not that was, as far as I know, has been done on whether or not that was actually effective, but I don't know. I guess there's a chance. I wouldn't put my money on it, but this is so fucking ugly. Look at this line. 4 to 1. Conveyor belt Mark 4 to conveyor belt Mark 1, but whatever. Why am I doing this? It's because I think that I have spent basically too much time and effort caring about what belt speed I need to be using to make things efficient. Oh my god, we finally ran out of encased industrial beams. And instead, in the future, I would like to just make every belt as fast as possible. Hi, girly. Hi. Did you have a good nap? Oh, hi. And if that isn't good enough, then we need another belt. I don't know. Probably gonna grow to hate this method in a couple 50 hours too. But there's a great book, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. It is a good book. It's really funny though. Good book. Not one of my favorite running books. Great book though. I truly do love that book. In some ways, it's like the least running book I've ever read though. Like, good book though. Oh, she's messing with the knob again. Okay, we've finally run out of encased industrial beams, meaning we can finally fuck around with our trains a little bit while those recompile. So, let's figure this out, because I'll be honest with you. I'm a little confused that the... Okay, it's time to mess with trains, by the way. It's time. We're gonna set some hotbar stuff here. We'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't rotate this. That's why. I wondered what it would look like. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, trains in this game, it looks like you pick a starting place and then pick a ending place. But that to me raises a couple immediate questions. If I have like a train here, or like a belt here, or a railway here, you can make it too short, which I find really funny. That is like the shortest distance you can make it. What is that? Like a block and a half? It's exactly a block and a half. So a foundation and a half is how long you can make is the shortest distance you can make these, it looks like. Okay, so my immediate question though is if I just point and drag and it makes a straight line, railroad track turns too sharply. But it will do the connection thing, which I assumed it would have to do, which is if you have a different built railway, it's still going to be too sharp. Then you need to... And you need to connect it. It will do the turn for you. That's still too sharp? That's basically like a I didn't even mean to do this, but that's basically like a 2 block by 2 block 90-degree angle. This is not actually perfectly straight. All right, let's do some science. Let's do some science. We got to figure out how this works in this game. So we'll make a straight line. And then our goal here is going to be how sharp is too sharp? That's what our goal to, the question we're trying to answer here. This, we are 90% sure is too sharp. We just did it. The only thing I did is I changed a couple of, I changed the angle of the other rail. This might work, but I think it probably actually needs to be this, right? Okay, let's do the wide one first, because this one I'm pretty sure will work. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. That one will work. Okay. So that is a 3 to 3. That's the distance. 3 foundations over, 3 foundations over. Oh, hold up. This is interesting. It auto-built a switch? Very interesting. It auto-deletes the switch, too. Oh, boy. Are you guys ready for a headache and a half? Okay, so now that we've done that one, can we do a 2-3? 2-3 is too short. 2-3 is too short. What about a, like, 2.5? What about, like, right here? Trains are fun. Do you ever do this? Like, how do I phrase this? You know how we've talked about this whole stream so far? We've talked about how that's still too sharp. About how I don't think of this game as like a job, or like if I do, it's still so much fun. I will say I've spent a lot of the last couple of weeks knowing that Trains was right around the corner, sort of dreading biting the bullet. Mar says, what I talk about when I talk about running is a great book. You're right. It's very not running book. That's partly the point. Sure, that's true. Dreading trains are great. They can be great, but I'm sure they are. And having trains will definitely be great. But what I mean by dreading is like, I sort of like dreading, like, I don't know. What's a super easy self-care thing in your life that I still dread doing? Changing the sheets? Changing the sheets, 2 minutes of pain. You know, 2 weeks of, let's be honest, it's more like a month of, oh, yes. These sheets are much better than the last sheets. It's something new to learn what's not to love. Okay, I hear you. I guess what I'm asking is, did you have any, like, have you ever had that feeling where, like, you just slightly, I know it's going to be fun. I'm very much looking forward to figuring it out. I know I will have fun along the way. And the, like, the potential energy, the, like, activation energy to get started is just a little greater than normal. And I'm slightly dreading it because the activation energy is high. Is that 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. I know it'll be great. I'm just oh boy. I've been avoiding starting it because break? What do you mean break? Is it because I run out of railway right here? Oh my god, this looks awesome. These trains look menacing. I'm inside of the train. Look at that. Doesn't that look so menacing? Open train menu. Manual driving. Train name, train. Edit timetable. Turn on self-driving. Doesn't have any power or timetable. How do I give it fuel? How will this game do fuel for the trains? It is an electric locomotive. It does literally say that. Is it that the train station itself must get power? Potentially. That's going to be too tight of a turn, right? Oh! Actually, almost exactly 3 for 3. Okay. If I power you up, do we all of a sudden have power? I mean, I don't know. Train station Skovda. Skovda. What language do you think that is? Skovda. Is it Finnish? Swedish? Frontsy question. Finnish? Could be a name, too. Could be a word. You say break. No timetable? I just want to see if there's a model. I just got clipped out of it. That was funny. Okay, if it's empty, there's a different model than if it's full. Oh, that's interesting. Day and Layla, thanks so much for the follow. Skovda. Have an efficient day. Transfer stacks. What the fuck do you mean by transfer stacks? I mean, okay, I don't know much about electric trains in the real world. I can build it over no foundations, which is cool and also scary. You have... Why won't you let me drive you? That's what's confusing to me. Timetable, I think, makes sense. We just add Skovda. We probably put a setting for how long locomotive should stay at the station until one load or unload has been completed, or freight wagon is fully loaded. I like or wait for 15 seconds. Save. Save changes. Oh, we're going. So it should go here. Wait for 15 seconds. Go again. Oh, baby. Are those brakes? How the fuck are those brakes? What? The thing's on top? That was weird. Should wait for 15 seconds. No path? Oh, are you telling me I have to do I have to add Skovda twice? F to dock. Sorry. My religion does not allow docking. I'm not. Path is invalid. It keeps deleting. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. No path is very interesting. I cannot manually drive you? What does docking do? All right, let's go to the... let's go to the... Codex. Skovda is Swedish. What is it? Oh, it's a place in Sweden. Oh, cool. Look at that. The municipality in Sweden serves as a hub for locomotives, which can be set to navigate to and stop at a train station. You can connect power to a train station to power up the trains on the railways, as well as feed power to other stations. Hey, would you look at that? So our rail counts as our power. Our power wire. One of these has power. It sounds like it will power any other stations along the line. That's cool. Good to know. A freight car attaches to an electric locomotive or other freight car to transport resources must be built on a railway. Resources are loaded and unloaded at freight platforms. Has a 1,600 meters cubed or 32 slot capacity, depending on solid or liquid. You know, some of you guys might not be familiar, and none of you guys might be interested, but I have a guess as to why this line right here is included. Must be built on a railway. Did you know? Spoilers for Factorio incoming for the next 30 seconds. If you don't want to know anything about Factorio, then mute up for 30 seconds. I promise I won't go over that amount of time. Did you know? Building freight cars. I think you can build them off a railway, but I could be wrong, actually. No, I think I'm wrong. I think you have to build it on a railway. Never mind. I was going to say, in Factorio, you can build freight cars and just put them side by side and load stuff from them quicker than you can move items along a belt sometimes. Or with robots. It's like, it turns out one of the broken ways to beat the game is to just use rail cars everywhere. Turn on self-driving to activate timetable. Okay. So my thought here is that we should be able to make this thing run in a circle. It's probably just that you aren't allowed to have timetables with only one station on it to make things loop. But if we read the timetable instructions, like, literally, we are stopped at Skovda. We wait for 15 seconds to pass, or a load or unload has been completed. And then the minute that is done, it should take off and we should restart the same counter. It's not that I have to, like, add it here more times, because if I save changes, it still only shows one. So let's test this. I think you're right, Tactical Fluke. I think I had it backward, or I was mistaken. I think you do still require track. Build this shit bigger. We also want to try... We currently have a train station. We probably ought to try the, like... freight platform. Loads and unloads freight cars that stop at the freight platform. Loading and unloading options can be set by configuring the building. Snaps to other platforms and station. Needs to be connected to a powered railway to function. Fluid is the same, but for fluid. So I think the idea would be... that you have to, like, chain them together. Oh, we made this thing so long in, like, kind of probably the wrong way. We're going to tear it all down in just a second, but... I like when people find side effects like that in games. Yeah. It's basically like Factorio speedrunning tech, kind of. Oh, that was cool. Okay, let's tear all this down. And then let's do this. Let's do a train station. do it over here. Need to give it some space to turn. Do it like right there, because that's the closest I can get, apparently. Ooh, I got too much shit in my inventory. Too much shit in my inventory. Okay, so then we need to... build. You can really just build in a full circle, huh? Build over to like... Why is that not a straight line? Oh, because it's too far. That right there. Okay. We're going to need more of this. We're going to do a 2-station little track just to test things out. Okay, so now I need a freight platform on 5. We want to build a... Probably you like there. Freight platform should snap right behind. It does, and it loads off to the side. Hell yeah. Probably want a second one. But I don't know exactly how this works. But we'll find out. Okay, we're gonna then leave a bunch of room before we do anything else. Let's go completely straight. Yeah, you can also do cars. That's true. That's true. We're going to have to take a break at some point to go do belts. We're up to 300. I don't know what our max is, though, for how many encased industrial beams we can hold. Okay. So from there, I think I can just do this and add the train stations later. Just go all the way to here. Dope. Ryan, do you have a plan to use trains, or are you just figuring them out for future use? I would say the answer is kind of both. I would really like to use them. And I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking for our fucking oil. Like, for, it seems like the way our oil is going to end up working is we'll basically have a ton of 2 materials to bring back from relatively far away. We'll have like plastic, rubber, and potentially a couple other things. So to me, trains makes a lot of sense. The thing is, though, I don't want to get into that without knowing what I'm doing. Like, basically what I figure out here will probably inform what I do there, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we build a train station like right here. Will it go on? Should be this way. Will it snap too? It will not snap too. If I delete this... Also, I didn't hold snap mode, so maybe it would have snapped. I don't know. Surface is too uneven. Okay, so maybe it would have snapped. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I'm excited to see what... I'm excited to see exactly how this works, and then from there determine... Oh, it's just clipping. That will work, though. Okay. The train station. Freight station. Freight station. Boom. We have Skovda and Tilburg. Skovda and Tilburg are our 2 I still have too much shit. Okay. No, I don't. Okay. So, we don't have any power. Do that. It should power the other station. Let's check that first. We're testing all of our hypotheses here. The other station powered. Looks like it. Max consumption just went way up. Do these really require that much power? The fuck? Max consumption. Wait a second. Max consumption went from 37.65. That's just 400. That's not bad. It's not crazy. It's probably because, I don't know. Please mind the gap between the train and platform. Okay. You should have on train timetable Skovda and Tilburg. Wait for 15 or a load. Save. And let's see if it loops. That's what we want to test now. Will it loop? Turn on self-driving. It appears that it will, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh boy. Chat, how you feeling? How are the vibes? Oh, it made a little honk. Oh, that was good. Look at our train stats. Using 100 megawatts to accelerate. Now we are decelerating down to 25. Okay. I want this to switch. 27. Perfect. When you say docking, what do you mean? Docking probably means like, I don't know. I mean, I know what it means. We got our first train and it runs. Dope. I love that it says brake so aggressively. That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, it should do this without me on it. Like, can I die to the train? I mean, this is a time-honored tradition in F-word game. So let's find out. Let's find out. Excuse me? How can you find these trains menacing? They're just like, they're very sturdy looking. I like them. I think they're just so sturdy looking. I also don't know what's going on the top. It's kind of like they're like air braking or something, but like confusing. I'm a ghost apparently. We're going to try jumping this time and see if we can get hit. Hey, fuck you, train. Nope. Watch this part right here. These are brakes. They must be. How do you electrically brake by removing these? I don't... If anybody understands real-world trains and understands these things on the top of the train that are like air braking or whatever, I don't know how else to describe it. Feel free to front seat me. What? How do real-world trains work like that? Watch, they'll pop off in just a second. Oh my god, look at the heat. That's cool, that's cool. They pop out. Is it just to increase? Oh, is it for cooling? Maybe it's to take it, it's like an air intake to cool the motors. Can I name my train? I want to name my train. It says locomotive. Train naming game. What do we name it? Honestly, fuck it. We'll leave it. Is that too long? Will it let me do it? Our train is named I'd like to run one on your mom. Our first train. Maybe it's like the flaps on a plane. Yeah, I don't know. Windbreak. I might be setting a personal record for the fastest delivery of something that I ordered on Amazon. I bought a spare tablet stylus today. It could be here as early as 5 p.m. same day. Oh my God. That is quick. 5 p.m. same day. All right. Well, that's hilarious, Llamas, because I was going to tell you, I tried to order something for our board game stream tonight, like a piece of tech, and it is going to arrive today between 4:45 p.m. and 7:45 p.m. 4:45 p.m. would be plenty of time to make it happen for our board game stream. 7:45 is 15 minutes too late. Okay, that's fine though. We'll be fine either way. We got a fucking train. Now we need to figure out how we... I mean, my guess is what's happening here is that this is a chest, right? It is a chest. It's got storage. It kind of looks like you might not be able to load and unload. The same... It kind of looks like you might not be able to load and unload on the exact same one. You might need 2 stations, one for loading, one for unloading, but we'll see. We'll see. We have a little bit of Mark IV belt to use, so we're going to use that right now. We got to here. I live close to an Amazon warehouse. Yeah. Same. Okay. Well. My mind is reeling with the possibilities. Next, we need to do concrete, though. Also, my frames are bad. Hold up. Let me close Discord. And anything else that I have open. I need to go to concrete and combine all this into one. Ooh, we also need to clear our inventory. Shit. I forgot that we were going to do that. Let's go clear our inventory first, then we'll lay down some pipe. I mean, some belt. Belt. Oh, man, it's almost the weekend, chat. I'm so lucky. I say that as if that matters. I get to spend my weekdays playing video games. I'm going to probably just play more video games on the weekend, too. We got to get rid of this Christmas music. I think Megan works all weekend. I think Elle is going to hang out with her grandma for part of the weekend. I think we have no real plans other than that, as far as I remember. I'm gonna ride my bike indoors. I'm going to run, probably indoors. Okay, 300 is the max of what I can put in storage, it turns out, for encased industrial beams. Okay. Inventory is a little bit cleared. We should have space now to go improve some stuff. Hi, Max Photo. How's it going? I gotta record some Ocarina of Time so that I'm where I need to be before we go out of town next week. Yo, Freya, what the heck? Whoa. Freya gifted 3 months of tier 1 sub. 2 llamas? What the heck? That's awesome. Freya, how's it going? That's so kind of you. That's mega generous. That's a great word for it. Mega generous. Okay, we gotta clean this shit up, guys. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Oh boy. Let's put a like merger. I have to delete that first. Put this here. Hi Freya, how you doing? So many belts? So many belts. But we do this so that hopefully we don't have to use many more belts in the future. Use a couple belts now. So that hopefully we never have to use another belt again. There was one more concrete, right? Is it further along? Am I losing my mind? There's a third concrete belt coming in. I feel like it was from this way. Right there. Oh god, what a mess. Oh my god, my game is struggling too. That's actually kind of worrying me a little bit. I did that so ugly. All right. Part 4. There we go. Upgrade concrete all the way. January is stressful at work. I'm doing a little charity, and it helps me feel. Doing a little charity helps me feel better too. Don't say anything if you don't want to, Freya. I don't know if I know what kind of line of work you're in. It's always interesting to me when different lines of work have different like busy seasons. Like you've got your like purely seasonal jobs, right? Like e-lift operator sort of has one busy season. Unless you live in a place where the gondolas operate in the summer too. More concrete here, which we're gonna have to find a way to chuck in up here. Tax document preparation. I feel like the first quarter of the year is probably a little bit insane. We do a merger here. Go from here to here. Connect that again. Connect that again. This thing's just floating in the air. It's fine. We'll get rid of it. God, this is so ugly. It's fine, though. I haven't watched your Satisfactory streams for a while. Where is your oil coming from? We have oil over to the far east in this like crater area. That's where it started. It is not doing anything. It's basically, it's not being transported from there yet. The short answer. Mark IV belt here. I don't know what that is. Probably not my problem, though. Not my circus, not my monkeys type of situation. I'm just here to convert stuff to Mark IV belts. Oh, okay. It's just saying you can add a belt there if you'd like to. Okay, this needs concrete. Whatever it is. So, to do that... That also looks like it needs concrete. Do, do, do. Oh boy. Okay. I swear. I really hope the vertical factory solves all my issues with like trying to jump around on belts and stuff, you know? I'm sure it will, right? I'm sure it will. If it won't, just lie to me. Chat, lie to me. Tell me that my vertical factory is going to solve all my problems. Please. I need you to lie to me. For sure, Ryan. Thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad it will. That's exactly what I needed to hear. That's working as intended. That is already Mark IV. It is. I deleted a line over here, which I need to fix. Right here. Mark IV. Not, yes. Then boom. The reason I'm doing one line at a time is I don't have a ton of extra encased industrial beams. And I feel like the way to make sure that I get every single thing on the belt correctly is to do it one thing at a time. Soon we're going to have to build those. But for now, it works. Is in finance. Okay. I'm in finance in a group office role over many plants in Europe, so lots of supporting and year-end closing topics. At the same time, supporting a Moroccan division with a switching of accounting systems. Gotcha. I think I found the thing. It would be not. This is the answer. Is not finance and accounting. This is not. Or the answer is not finance. I'm not saying what I'm about to say as a dig on Freya. I just want to clarify that because the timing is a little funny. I think I maybe found the thing that I would find it really difficult to find interesting. We talked earlier on the stream about like what's the thing in the world that you would find it most difficult to be interested in. I think maybe the answer is like tax document preparation. You know? Maybe that's it. I was just thinking about how that really must be like March for tax preparers must be the worst job in the world. Oh my God. My frames are bad. Okay. Now we're up to 400 though, because we deleted some and got some in our inventory. Yup. It's just a more finance is just a more stressful puzzle, or tax document filing is a more stressful puzzle. Yeah, imagine taking the stress of like, yeah, solving any high consequence problem, but then add to it the like stress I feel anytime I think about money. Period. Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds very stressful. Okay, next is this. Make it Mark 4. We'll run it. Easy. This could be a quick one. We'll see. Still quick so far. What exactly is happening here? Okay, I think I disconnected that and never connected it last time, so we did it now. Oh. Okay. Oh my God, we're zooming. It's so funny to be putting stuff on the belt that I'm pretty sure we're making at a rate of like 5 to 10 per minute. But we're putting it on a belt that can hold it. This is just, we're just building infrastructure. All we're doing right now is building highways. And the highway dead ends into a highway that goes vertical. But the person who drives on this highway in 10 years is going to be really happy I built this highway. You know? Am I going to drive on it right now? Probably not. But someday... grinding the organ. It's like, I think it means... I don't know why it's called grinding the organ either, Catilla, but I think it's the... like, I don't know where the etymology comes from. But I think if you Google, like, hurdy-gurdy type instrument... Nah, not even like that. Street organ? Now I'm just thinking about the guy from Ocarina of Time. There's those instruments that you have to, like you do a circular motion on one side of the box in order to produce the music. Okay. Now we have what? Steel ingots? Is that what that was? Is that an iron ingot? No, it is steel. Interesting. Okay. Isn't that just called a music box? I am thinking of... So I'm thinking of specifically... It's called a grinder organ. Oh, it's literally called a grinder organ. It's funny because all I can think of right now is a certain thing from a certain character in Ocarina of Time. And I don't know that he's playing a street organ or a grinder organ, but he's playing something kind of like it, maybe. If it's not exactly, it's like very related. I got 280. We're zooming here. I wonder if the power output is mostly, for trains, is mostly related to how many trains you have on the thing, like in terms of capacity. like the increased capacity. Consumption is the word I'm looking for. This is where all our steel comes in. This is our Mark IV belt. Let's hook this up over here. Then we need to take a couple offsets here. We need a merger. Shouldn't that work? Oh, not the zoop tube. Shouldn't that work? Okay. Then we need a splitter. Go over to here. Ah. And the funny thing about this is it actually does need to do both of these. So we also need to put a splitter like right there. This is so ugly, but who cares? Oh! Hi, Giordine. How's it going? I agree with your association to that Ocarina of Time character. Cranking his box. Yep. Yep. I vote that Ryan gives this man a name. Who? In Ocarina of Time? In my head, he's referred to as Jack. Because it's kind of what it looks like he's doing. In my head canon, his name is Jack. I don't know what his actual name is, but cranking his box, is that what they call it these days? I sure as shit what it looks like. I have to... Somebody remind me. I literally have to make that into a YouTube short. I'm just going to write down Jack on my hand. And that will definitely remind me. I got to make... Because that is the funniest thing I've ever seen in Ocarina of Time. Like... It's so fucking funny to me. We're going to do this in the ugliest way possible. Boom. Boom. Do one of these. One of these. Go here. Do here. Go here. I'm just gonna write Jack on my hand. I did write Jack on my hand. Don't. That's a normal thing to do. Very normal. I've decided now that TikTok is no longer banned. Oh god, I hate the fucking world. But I have decided that my goal in life, my only goal, be a nice father, you know, like be a good partner, leave the world better than I found it. No, my goal in life is to get TikTok famous one last time. To go TikTok viral one last time. I've been having a lot of fun. And by that I mean my actual goal is I would like to edit more clips and moments from stream and post them on social media and on YouTube Shorts and stuff. And so I've been having a lot of fun, like looking back at moments from the last month and turning them into YouTube Shorts, including I don't know if you saw this, Mars, but the Josh Rubin cameo reaction I posted, and it's so funny. I have watched the reaction like 5 times. It's just so funny. Megan's brain short circuiting is the best part of it. Hell yeah, brother. Oh boy. Lag. 92. Okay, we're almost to the point where we can mess with trains again, which is going to make me think we should probably just stop right here with what we're doing. Zooming. Absolutely zooming. Let's see here. Let's see here. We need to think through this. Not this at all, but mostly trains. We need to think through trains. How do we want to do this? If our goal is to get stuff into this vertical bus, we should have train stations like vaguely over here for unloading. I think it would make sense to bring in. This is going to go sideways and then up. I think it would make sense to bring in potentially like over here stuff where we then unload quickly into this thing. The thing with, okay. Oh boy. I need to figure out. Oh, sorry. Puchark says I missed this thing about Ryan going viral once before. When was that? I've had a couple TikToks go viral. Relatively viral. Let me take a look. Let me look back. Nope, that's TikTok's loud. I have one from earlier. I have one from like mid last year. From Baldur's Gate 3 that has 327,000 views. A TikTok about Baldur's Gate 3 and a certain song and a certain villain. I've got one from Skyrim from 2022 is when I posted it. It has 840,000 views and 48,000 likes. Got one from Minecraft from 2020. 800,000 views. 142,000 likes. That's even more. Holy shit. That one has Megan in it, so that makes sense. And then there's got to be... There's at least a couple other ones that have done, like, 500,000 or so views. TikTok is weird that way. Most of my TikToks, 200 views. 5 likes. But occasionally we strike gold. This is a Minecraft one with 400,000 views. We've got a couple Fortnite ones which did well. It's a lot. I found you through your Ocarina of Time playthrough, so there's a lot of Ryan lore I'm unaware of. I'll check it out. Check out the TikTok? Oh, don't. No, not worth it. If you're already on TikTok, feel free to follow. Otherwise, if there's any like, oh, I'm newer to the channel, there's Ryan lore that I'm missing. If there's any things I'd recommend, it'd be like old YouTube playthroughs of some of the, just any game that you enjoy or something like that. You get to see, especially like if those were stream games, then you get to see what the community looked like at that time. If they weren't, then you get to see how young I looked when I still had light in my eyes before I had a child. Otherwise, oh, hell no. No reason to watch back old TikToks. Or like Instagram Reels or whatever. I post them all on the same thing, but okay. So I'm thinking, bunch of trains running this way, you know, up way in the sky. Like I'm thinking, maybe not way in the sky, but like, how would I do this? Like, You know what? Maybe we're onto something right here. Maybe this ramp is what we use. This ramp right here. Maybe this can be our train station. Our unloading station. Trains introduce so many interesting... Hi, girlie. Hi. Is it time to eat? Yeah. Is she happy? She seems happy. Had a lot of yogurt and she played with it? Like, got dirty? Oh, my God. You're a better parent than I am. That's funny. Oh, my God. She's so cute. She's covered in yogurt. Okay, piece of evidence 1001 that Megan is a better parent than I am is Megan does not get bothered when our daughter is covered in food because she can't actually control her precise motor. Her, like, precise motor control well enough to not get herself absolutely covered in food. I, personally, even though she's the best thing in the world, I still get disgusted by it. Megan, on the other hand, not disgusted by it. That's the medical training. She's used to dodging bodily fluids. I'm generally like not bodily fluid stuff, but like I'm fine if she like pees on me or I get poop on me. Something about us both sitting down to dinner and I'm eating something and she's like got oatmeal mashed in her hair. Something about that just I think it is legitimately like it doesn't make me nauseous. Oh, nice quote, Mars. I love that. It doesn't make me nauseous. It makes me how do I phrase this? It makes me like I'm going to have to fucking clean this up. Like, isn't that terrible? Of course you're going to have to clean it up. She's 8 months old, but like when she eats like a puff or something that she can just like get it all in her mouth, it all goes down. There's no mess. I'm like, that's ideal eating. When she is playing in it and gets it all on her hands and her face, I'm like, why? Why? Messy with food is tough for me. I'm just like, that's not the ideal way to do this. What are you doing? That's not how this should work. Am I aware that's bonkers? Yes. Okay, trains are interesting. I've tried to say this 14 times. I'm going to say it again this time. Trains are interesting. Here's how I conceive of the debate of using trains in this game or other games. When you do trains, you get rather than a steady flow of a resource, you get like a peristaltic wave of heavy resources then nothing. Heavy resources then nothing. Every time the train comes in, heavy resources. To keep belts fed and a factory running, which requires constant resources, machines don't turn on and off like that most of the time, at least not in an ideal factory. That means you have to take this highs and lows of heavy and then, drought and then... No. What's the word? What's the opposite of famine? Like plenty and then famine. And you have to turn it into steady supply. Most of the time, the way you do that, at least in games that I've played before, is you store the shit out of stuff. As long as you're filling up storage, then the output from storage is your steady supply. Surplus and famine. Thank you. Averages are a thing. But give me 1 second. I'll talk about that in a second. Mars says, y'all, with that, I gotta head out. I hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you. I'm hoping to see you tonight for game night stream, but fiance and I have a dinner thing with her old work friend, so I have no idea when we'll be home. That's okay. Good luck with the dinner. Hopefully we get to see you, but if not, that's okay. Averages are a thing, but here's the problem. Those belts over there those lifts carry 480 items a minute. If over 3 minutes we get 1,000 on minute 1 and then 0 on minute 2 and 3, even if it's averaging out. Sorry, no, we should have done the math differently. 480 on an item. If we get 1,500 on minute 1, nothing on minute 2, and nothing on minute 3, that is still more than 480 per minute. So we're chilling, right? But the problem is you have to take that wave and deliver it consistently, aka storage. Because if you're not, then it runs, it gets used up or doesn't get used up, and then there's still, like, if the factory wants to be producing something but is completely out of resources, that's a major problem, because then it throws off every single thing down the line that requires that item to be made at 5 per minute, you know? Or whatever. I hope I explained that all right. Or by explained, I mean I hope I'm talking through my thought process all right on this. So my thought is this. Freight platforms, oh man, there's so much that we don't know right now. I don't even know, like, do trains move slower with, like, more freight cars on them? I don't know. Oh boy, I'm sure they would. Can you chuck multiple? I'd like to run one on your mom, by the way. Can you chuck multiple locomotives on the front of a train to make it run faster? Okay, here's what we're gonna test. I've got a timer on my desk. I've got a timer on my desk. We're gonna stop. Shit, I fucked it. I didn't look. We're gonna start the timer the second that it leaves the station, starts moving. We're gonna stop the timer the minute it stops moving. And then we're gonna delete some freight cars and see if it moves faster. I've got a timer here. Takes 15 seconds and then it goes. What we expect here, what I expect, is a longer time on this run than with fewer freight cars. Okay, I started the timer right after the honk. I hope I did that accurately enough. We're at 10 seconds. 12, 14, 15. And time. That's 20 seconds. Probably time it twice just for accuracy, but... Excuse me? Cannot dismantle a docking vehicle? Okay. All right, all right. Well, shit. You know what we could have done? We could have just looked at max kilometer per hour, probably. You know what? Let's do that now. Let's do that. This is probably a better method. We're going to watch the max kilometer per hour in the bottom left. Let's see what we learn. Doop, doop, doo. Okay, 2, 3. It looked like 67-ish was about... Nope, 74. Okay, it looks like 74. We're going to pause. We're going to stop. Nope, don't dock. That's not what I meant to do. Shit. Oh, undock. Don't dock. Fuck. Dope. Okay. Then we go here. Turn on self-driving. We're going to ignore this one. Although this is probably... If this goes higher, it's good math. 72. We want it to do one full automatic, like, run. Attila says, don't give him ideas. That's probably true. I didn't see the comment, but probably true. Okay. I'm guessing we'll see around 74 again. 72. Okay, so we saw the opposite of what we wanted to see. Which is interesting. Very interesting. We can put multiple locomotives on the front. That's also interesting. Okay. Can't fucking break it. Okay. Well. Okay, I think the problem could be a couple things here. Oops, all locomotives, yeah. I do want to... Let's see what our limitations are, right? It turns out you can put at least 4 together. Which just begs the question, right? If you can put 4 together, how many can you put together? And if we self-drive this thing, how fast can we get it going? And also, what is our weight looking like? What's our power? Oh boy. Oh boy, guys. We're about to give ourselves a power problem. This is me adding more locomotives. I added like 1,000 megawatts of locomotives. Okay. If there's no limit, then shouldn't each of these locomotives on this electric like rail be getting power and adding power? Like be getting power and adding acceleration? Oh boy, guys, we're about to break things. Okay, so everybody hop on board. Oh boy. Manual driving is what we want. How fast can we make this go, and will we break our power? It does look like there's a speed limit. There's a speedometer on the bottom part of the screen. We do not appear to be losing speed on the turns. Never mind. There's no way to know that because we're constantly on 2 turns at the same time. Okay, 115 is what we can do max right now. Okay, that's interesting. I was thinking, wait, we're not losing speed when we enter a turn, but we're on 2 turns at the exact same fucking time. Okay, so that's interesting. 115, spacebar is brake, space is brake, space is brake. Now I think we see what we can do with the exact, with just 1. Or even with just a couple. There's so many variables. This is such bad science. We need to come up with a different track to run this shit on. Okay. Let's see if we get any higher than 115. We may not. I kind of would be surprised if we do get higher than 115 with either, I don't know how many this is. This is probably like 10. Maybe if we did like 6. Because I'm guessing braking or turns are bad for your speed, but we'll see. Okay, 115. Ryan's trying to earn a master's degree in train science right now. I'll tell you what I am actually doing this for. We don't know we don't know how many locomotives to freight cars we want. Let's try 3. We don't know if we want 1 locomotive pulling 2 freight cars. We don't know if we want 1 locomotive pulling 8, 1 pulling 1, 4 pulling 1, 4 pulling 4? We have no idea. One way to potentially... Oh, interesting. We're going slower. We're going faster. I told you, 118. We get up to 118 on that one. The curves are 100% slowing us down. Let's go. I love it when you can figure some shit out. Okay. And that's flatlining. Okay. So, how does this answer that question? I don't understand the variable you're isolating here. The question I just said, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. No, we're just playing around. No. The variable I'm isolating right now on this exact attempt is, do turns slow you down? Because I know nothing. I don't want to clarify this too hard. I don't want to jack off a dead horse here. But this is a blind playthrough, so I know literally nothing. I don't know if turns in this game matter for speed. I don't know if they matter for anything. So if we put 18 fucking cars on the track, it's constantly in the middle of a turn, meaning it's constantly getting bricked. That's why we did that many. Did it increase the max speed? Doesn't exactly look like it. We went down to 3, which showed us that yes, there is braking on. There is deceleration on the turns, and you can get faster than 115 with fewer. It isn't as simple as more locomotives equals more speed. Okay, now I want to see if related to that, 1 is any faster. Randomized control trials. We're just doing fuck around and find out. 118 is the max that we got here with 3. My guess is that compared to 3... Oh, we did just get faster. We got up to 119. Interesting. I wonder if this is basically... I wonder if what we're learning here is that we have minimized the amount of time on a turn. Because with a 3 locomotive long train, one of your cars is on the curve more often than not. Like, more often than currently, what I'm doing right now. So, I wonder if what we're learning is just, for max speed, minimum amount of time on, or cars on a curve is what you need. I gotta tell you, the next thing that I want to do immediately is just this. I just want to do this. That's all one piece, isn't it? Shit. Okay, I guess we'll go over here. Can't do it. I can't do it. Give me the thing. Give me the thing. Okay, fine. Fuck it. Can I go up and down? Invalid aim location. No. Can I go up and down? Can I gain momentum by losing altitude? I mean, it would be really funny if I could, right? I think I basically just need a platform to place it on. Let's find out. 2 ways to test this. Put a rail like right here. I'm in the way. That's not long enough. Railroad track is too steep. Okay. Well, my next question was going to be something like this. It said steep, which is interesting because that does make it seem like maybe you'd have to be able to do elevation gain and loss, right? Thanks for the follow. I am crazy 6269. Oh yeah, you can. Okay. I want to make a Hot Wheel track. That's all I want to do here. I want to make the world's longest Hot Wheel track. I want to run a train. Actually. What were to happen, hypothetically speaking, if I somehow got this hooked up to some kind of rail here and got power to it, what would happen if I were to... Come on, I know this is a weird angle. Just hook up. I don't want to make a train station. Can I run a train into the abyss? Like, can I dump it in? Oh my god, I really want this to be quick. I just want to fuck around here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This. A set of brio kept you entertained for hours as a kid. What's a brio? Train station. I need power. Little wooden train toys with the tracks. We're talking like Lincoln Logs for trains. Brio trains. Oh. Okay. Now this one's for science. We need to name it. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. All right. It didn't power it up. Shit. That should have power. All right. Can I get an 07 in the chat? Wish me luck. Fuck. I really want it. That does not make any sense. It's the most efficient way to brake. Just run out of track. Honestly. Why hit the brakes when you can stop on a dime? That was anticlimactic? It was. It's okay. The way to solve it is to see how fast we can get. Oh god. Oh god, get back in the train. The way to make it climactic is to see how fast we can get a train going if we do it all downhill. You know? I don't know that I want to spend the time though. Who needs brakes anymore? Honestly, right? Okay, so to get back to our science, we sort of need to find a way to answer a couple questions. How long should our trains be, and how many locomotives should be on it? That question is answered by a couple pieces of like objective science we could do, which would be what's the fastest setup? Is it 2 locomotives, 1 freight car, 1 locomotive, et cetera, et cetera? We can do that science, but it's also kind of just answered by part of the consideration is just frankly like our needs and wants. If we make trains that are 16 locomotives and 2 freight cars long, even if that's very fucking fast, it's using a ton of power and a ton of length space to deliver 64 slots of an item, which might be worth it in some cases, but most likely I think is probably not particularly like it or particularly useful. So somewhere in the wash of prioritizing space and quickness of how quickly you can deliver the freight car, and what is most efficient or fast, somewhere and uses less power, somewhere in there is an ideal solution. What can we do to help us? What science can I do to help us solve that? Well, I think one thing to do could just be, let's do it from up here because we can maybe use it for, if we build it once, we can actually use it for something else too. One thing we could do is just one straight long track. And see how long it, and see how long it takes us to go certain distances with different train setups. I don't think we necessarily want to build a curve into it. Because ideally, of course there will be curves in the real world, but ideally we are aiming for as few curves as possible in our builds because we know that slows things down. Of course, we're going to have to add them, but that's the... That ain't the point. Ryan, hear me out. Train jousting? I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at a lot. The game has given me zero sense that the trains can be damaged, but I do like where your head's at. The thing about what we're doing right now, too, is if we build it correctly, it will function as our, as the train line over to our oil. That's cool. I do like the idea of elevating trains, get them off of the nasty ground where elevation changes happen. If you elevate them, then it's easier to build and probably also tear down. I don't know. It's probably easier to belt material up or conveyor lift it up to a train station than it is to make a train go up and down elevation. Like what I know about trains from the real world is like trains hate climbing elevation. Oh boy, speaking of, we're too low. Okay, we probably should have been higher. Shit. It's all right. We're floating out over an abyss right now, so we're not actually in trouble, right? I also hate climbing elevation. You and a train are exactly the same in one very key way. I love this game. This game's so much fun. The reason I'm making it so wide is my thought is every train is going to have to go there and back. We're going to have to do a loop on one end. And it... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let me get out Microsoft Paint. This is what I love, and this is what I meant by dread. This is what I love and hate about trains in factory games. Or things like this, right? It's a more complicated logistic system. So here's the problem. Here's the like debate. Right? You've got like unloading. This is where all material is trying to go, you know? This is resource number 1. Resource number 2. Resource number 3. If we're building our tracks with red, right now we're working on this one. We've got train station here. It makes sense to me to line train stations up this way rather than line them up like this, because that's fucking yikes. But then with our lines, what do we do? Do we run this one? Should actually probably be this one. Do we run it like this? And if we're doing that, and it's traveling this way, right? At the end of the thing, we need to get it back. So we have to do this. Does it make sense then to get to 2 to do a, especially if we have to build the like underlying, like underneath here is foundation, right? Which you don't have to do, but like so far it seems valuable to do it. Does it make sense to piggyback off of that same foundation and then do this? At this point, though, if you're using 2 separate train lines, does it not make sense to use the same train line? The problem is then you have mergers. You have mergers you have to figure out, right? You've got, and that probably involves train signals. Pro, use less material. Con, you have to signal it correctly, and trains sometimes have to wait. And if a train is waiting, then you're not hitting your quota on this end for unloading, right? On the other hand, with so much of the exact same route here, it would make a lot of sense to use the same line. Then all of a sudden you've got 3. Does it really make sense to build a line here? Like, even if you're using the same line, does it really make sense to do this? To reuse all that infrastructure and then go here? Just to come back? Or we resolve this a different way. That was with 3 separate lines. You could do this, and then you merge. You could do this, then you merge. Could also do this. Do this. That last one's probably bad. It would probably be more... Oh, that could work, actually. Oh, you know what's funny about this solution? This probably has a lot of appeal, right? This solution has a lot of appeal. Guess why it has a major fucking problem? Actually, it's solvable. It's solvable. It's solvable. If you zoom in way down here, the thing with the train stations, the freight stations, is that they unload on one side. They unload on one side only, it looks like. Meaning this train has to run this way so that it unloads on the right. This train has to run this way as well so that it unloads on the right. Like the direction you make it go matters. That said, some games... How do I zoom out again? There you go. Some games will allow you, and I don't know if this one will. We'll see. We'll find out in a second. Some games will allow you to... Nope, I need the pin. To run a train this way on the track, and then when it gets to the end, turn it around and run it back. You put a locomotive on both ends facing different directions. If you do that, you better not be running another train on the same track, because then they're headed opposite directions. So does it make sense to do no loops? Does it make sense to do loops that borrow the same track? I would say, we'll see if I can run trains in both directions. I would say, my guess is no, you cannot run trains in both directions because the train stations have directional pads on them. But when you place them, my honest guess is to do, and what I tend to do is something like this. Share track most of the time. Shit, this is going to be ugly. Share track most of the time for infrastructure. Be something like this. This probably would continue up even further. And do this. If you cannot do one directional, then what it would look like would be... This is such a Factorio train system, by the way. Then what it would look like would be... Sorry, I'm doing the math. So this goes this way. You split them up because they probably go into different stations so that they unload their materials in good ways, so that, like, iron goes here, oil goes there, something else goes here. So then over here you can, like, load on to one, and then an empty train comes in and has to do a loop to get back to... So the station itself is actually, like, right here, facing this way. Then, of course, you'd need, like, loops. You'd need... Ignore all of this. You need loops to get you on the right side of the track. I would tend to say, if I had to solve this problem right now, knowing no more information, I would probably solve it this way. It's what I'm most comfortable with and familiar with. There's on everywhere you go, there are 2 tracks. You use, like, a central vein that goes through most of the map, and then you tear off of it when you need something else. That is going to assume that we have good train signaling. Like, the signaling is very... I don't even know how to phrase it. Let's gonna assume that the signaling is like... Do we even have signaling? I don't fucking remember. Is sensical and easy to set up, and the trains obey it really, really reliably, etc., etc., etc. I think I haven't unlocked signals. I think that might be it. Let's test a couple things here. Trains in this game are what made me really wish building worked like Factorio. Copy-paste from map view and send bots is so much easier to physically build. I'm already sort of dreading the idea that I need to walk this far all the way up here. Building physical track. But it's all right. You said it, not me. Here's what we want to test. Oh boy, I really do not know how this is going to work. If it will work. You can put two locomotives on opposite ends. They're not doing tug of war. If I name this one 1 and exit... Is this one named 1? It is. Okay. Okay. That means they use the same timetable. I mean, I might as well fucking... See, these have directions, which I find very interesting. Nice. I did nail that shit. Okay. There's no power, so... Ah! God, I hope anything that I'm saying is making sense. RIP to all the people who are normally lost on this, that's Samira and Goes. RIP to the people who are normally lost when we play this game and are now even more lost than possible. Oh, interesting. It only picks the stations that are there on your... along this track. I mean, let's try it. Self-driving. Oh, we got a red light. Is it because it's the back? We should go forward, wait 15 seconds, and then maybe go back. And if that happens, this is really interesting. It did not wait 15 seconds, that's for damn sure. Why not? I mean, did I... One load has been completed. Oh, there's no freight station. Interesting. If there's no freight station, it just goes there, then immediately it recognizes that it cannot complete it, and therefore... Oh, we're learning things. Okay. So because there's no freight station here, that braking noise is actually kind of grating on my ears. We could probably use that to our advantage somehow. The fact that it goes and then quickly... Okay. Okay. So the real question is going to be... Oh, boy. Here's the other problem. We also now have smart splitters. I'm missing an AI limiter. Shit. We have smart splitters now. Meaning I technically could probably use one. one unloading station or fewer unloading station, and then just sort the material afterwards. Right? Is that correct? So my debate here is if we have one train for every, like, material and or outpost, like our oil outpost will have at least 2 materials, then, like, when it comes in here, there's an unloading thing right here, right? This is set to unload. And it has, I think that's 2 train... It's 64 slots, yeah. So 2 trains worth of slots. So say it unloads. Oh, the problem with this is that you get backups. You would absolutely get backups if you fucked this up and did it wrong. So we could use, it would be like right here. Nope, it'd be right here. If we used a smart splitter and then had left output be like plastic and the other one be rubber. And this you can be like any undefined, overflow, whatever. Then you could use one freight. The problem would be if this right here fills up with plastic, then it can't unload rubber. And the way it would fill up with plastic would be like the plastic line is filled up, meaning basically if this belt becomes all plastic, I think you have a problem. Or if this gets filled with plastic. So I don't like that idea. Sounds like a way to really fuck myself over for the future. So what system makes the most sense for us? On the other hand, since we can't do that, that would mean this has to have either 2 freight cars, one with plastic, one with rubber, / one with fluid if we're doing that too. Meaning 2 freight stations. Meaning belts come out of each. Those belts are going to have to run into probably a little bit of like industrial storage containers to give us a little bit of a what's the word for that? To give us a little bit of a like an excess, some wiggle room, and then down into the factory. So each belt would be dedicated to the material that it is that it's doing, which means we need a ton. Every new item that we train in oh my god, this is where it gets even more complex. Oh shit, chat. This is where it gets even more complex. We have to do more testing. We need 2 trains on this line. If 2 trains want to go to the same station, will the second one... If 2 trains want to go to the same station, but one train is already there, will the second one... This is all rhetorical. I'm just talking through it out loud. Will the second one wait where it started, or will it wait right behind and therefore block the tracks? Can wait basically at its outbound station, or this is a thing that you solve in the F game by in the most complex way possible. Does anyone in chat know how you solve this problem in Factorio? Because I can commiserate with you about how complex it is. How not complex, it's just like kind of annoying, kind of ingenious. Oh boy. How do we test this? Long story short, the way you do it in Factorio, is the train station gives a signal about whether or not it is occupied. If there is a train sitting here, then the train signal says, I'm occupied. And you send that signal over the power lines to every other train station in the world. And that train station can only accept it. A new train can only head for it if it's empty. Oh boy. Okay, so here's what we're going to do instead. Since we're testing our multiple train station thing, and we also want to test the, like, how fast do trains go if they have different lengths and stuff. What we want to do here is... Track is too long. I hope that's straight. We're going to have to put a split in the tracks up here. So much learning. We love it. We're trying. We're trying. I'm sure there's things I'm ignoring too still. Uh-oh. I'm sure there's things I'm missing. Here's what we need to do. I need to go check and see if there's train signals, because if not, this is going to change things. I'm pretty sure there are train signals. I just don't think I've, like, researched it or something. Factorio 2.0 had crazy upgrades to trains and circuits. Not sure I should say more. I appreciate that, because I would love to play it someday, and I still haven't, but... I like that. Interesting. Upgrades to trains and circuits. Interesting. Oh boy, what a game. What a game. So here. Railway signaling, that's right. We don't have it yet. Block signal directs the movement of trains to avoid collisions and bottlenecks. Block signals can be placed on railways to create a block between them. When a train is occupying one of those blocks, other trains will be unable to enter it. Caution signals are directional. That's huge. Trains are unable to move against this direction. So be sure to set up signals in both directions if you are going to do bi-directional railways. Path signal directs the movement of trains to avoid collisions and bottlenecks. Path signals are advanced signals that are especially useful for bi-directional railways and complex intersections. They function similarly to block signals, but rather than occupying the entire blocks, trains can reverse... What did it say? Trains can... It scrolled too quickly. Can reserve a specific path through it. It will only enter the block if their path allows them to fully pass through it. It makes sense. Caution signals are directional. I think we probably do not want to go with one-directional trains. I think that would probably drive me crazy. I think we probably want to do multi-directional trains and, like, arteries and veins through the world that we then build off of to go get other items. That might cause some backups because it does not seem like we necessarily have the capacity, like F-word game, to determine whether or not a station is full. I don't know if we are going to be able to do that. And if we cannot, that means you better have... Okay. How do I describe this? We're back to Microsoft Paint. Let's say this is kind of the method we're thinking, right? Let's say that rather than a different material, this is actually the same material. You've got, like, Station 1 and Station 2 for the same material. So Train 1, it unloads. You're gonna, since we're unloading on, like, specific tracks, then, like, this first one right here is where you're gonna want to send... Oh, shit. This first one right here is where you're gonna want to send both trains. The reason you do that is it saves you a whole bunch to build it. It saves you building 1 million of these. Like, they're both iron, so they're both going to go out right here, right? So the problem, if we don't have the ability to signal when this is open, the problem that you could get is Train 1 finishes loading, goes down here, and sits right here to unload. As it does that, Train 2 fills up, goes down here, and sits right here to unload. And because of that, train 3 cannot get past to go where it needs to go. And so it's blocked. You can solve this by only letting this unload for up to 15 seconds, and then it can go. But still, you get a whole bunch of 15-second things, and all of a sudden, you're way backed up. One potential solution to this that I really like is just basically make these all a little bit longer so that they can hold multiple trains. So that they can all be waiting on multiple trains. You can also... You can make it so that it's only outbound when it's full. So it only leaves the input place, the place where it grabs materials, when it's full. Which means there are fewer trains on the tracks. That's a good solution. If it only leaves when it's full, then it won't be running every 15 seconds through here and creating traffic. It will be running every however long it takes to get full. And then every time it arrives, it is taking up 15 good seconds when it sits there, or whatever it's called. I'm so impressed by all the forethinking. I just built stuff and fixed it along the way, and you can be sure there was a lot of fixing involved. You're impressed by the forethinking until you realize that I'm about to be paralyzed by the forethinking. I'm about to be paralyzed by the forethinking, and I'm gonna choose the wrong. I'm gonna choose the wrong decision now, and then in 60 hours, I'm gonna be rebuilding my bus fucking vertically. So that's what you're missing out on. Okay. We need to do a couple things of science here. Oh my god, this is going to be so much train track to lay down by hand. Holy shit. I think we just want to run this like as far as we can for now, though. I wonder, and I don't necessarily want to test this myself, so I'm going to ask a front seat question here. Because I do not want to waste the material and the mess it would take to test this. But one consideration we have not thought about is if trains run slower when the freight car is full or has material in it. I'm going to call that weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, but I don't know. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean, right? I'm going to call it weight. Front seat question, does the fullness or not fullness, aka the weight of a freight car, affect the speed of that train? Yes or no? I can phrase that another way if you would like. Hazy. Okay, here's my question. Option 1. Take these plus like a million. Take like a bunch of these. Option 2. Is there a difference in speed between 1 and 2? Okay, no, interesting. I would have guessed that because that would be insane to try and put into your game. But you know, I don't know. Try not to assume anything. Okay. The other consideration we may need to think about here is that like these are limited by. It's possible they're like limited by like available power or some shit. I don't know. Who knows? Like they're normally it's like they're normally is the wrong word, but like sometimes these things are fueled. And the different fuels make the different speeds. really nervous if I just keep going straight, I'm gonna like run into a kill box or something. Okay. So let's do this. There's one thing I so much want to say, but uh-oh. Exclamation time. I think the way we're going to test this is simple. This is a straight line. Hopefully it's long enough that acceleration and deceleration guys, it gets so complex. It gets so complex. Right now I'm going to vaguely, so my thought right now for what we're about to do is vaguely test layouts for trains, right? Is the top speed. So one way to do that is basically put a train station at this end, a train station at this end, have it run the track. How fast did it go? That's a good question. That's one way to tell how fast the train would go in general, right? Across all kinds of tracks. The problem is it's way more complex than that. Does this have less acceleration and deceleration than this? The time we run is one thing, but what happens if we add curves, and curves are about acceleration and deceleration, and that this is actually slower because of deceleration, but faster in terms of pure top speed? Who knows? Who fucking knows? It's all complex. We're going to use this as a very bad stand-in for how to tell what type of train is going to be fastest. Yeah. And I have decided that for the sake of simplicity, we're going to try going with a solo, a single direction track. Because I think we need to, for my sanity. Okay. So I think I put these the... Oh, shit. I put these the wrong way, though. Damn it. Should have put that as the start and this as the finish. Yeah? Oh, whatever. Anybody else's brain hurt? It's 3:15 p.m. Holy cow. Holy cow. Uh-oh, I'm trying to get an extra long USB cable delivered by stream tonight. And now it says 5 to 8 p.m. I don't know that that's going to work in terms of getting us... Okay. Probably... Is that connected? It is connected. Probably need to do like a little bit more. My brain doesn't hurt. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad you think so. We may be on a shitty, like, a phone as a webcam type of situation tonight for board game night. We'll see. Overlapping another object's clearance. In what way? All right. Oh my God. Look. It's been super impressive what you've learned so far. We're all rooting for you in spoiler chat. Hey, I'll take that. Thanks, guys. Thanks, spoiler chat. Okay, we need to go here. And just drive there and then stop. Because this is our start line. From there, we can add freights. I think what could be a really viable solution for this map and this game could be a one locomotive, one freight car system. I think it could be really good. Here's what I'm thinking. The amount that you bring to your station the ideal amount that you bring to your station is sort of determined by the amount you can use. Like if I can only bring in one freight car like shit. This is 8 times 4. Oh, I said the train station could hold 64, but it can only hold 48. Right? 48. So it can hold 32 stacks. So 3,200 reinforced iron plate. If I can use 480 of that per minute, then per minute, then I can use like 500 times. I can use like 6.5 minutes of it, 7 minutes of it before I need a new one. To me, that feels like a lot. Like 7 minutes before this train absolutely needs to be back here to unload more. That feels great. 7 minutes is a lot of time. I also won't be using. There's a 0% chance. I shouldn't say that. I think there's nearly a 0% chance I would be using 480 of most resources per minute. That's just kind of what I'm building my new vertical bus on. At least for now. One belt, that belt is 480 per minute. I think this is very, very capable because depending on the stacking of the item, that could be a whole lot of... Like if we're carrying rubber, that's like 14 minutes of before I need a train to come back in. If we did 2, then we've got like 30 minutes of rubber, assuming we're using 480 per minute, which we won't be, right? So I really think this is a very liable, like one freight train is a very viable option for amount to bring in. The question could also be how many locomotives we put on it. Okay, let's run a test. I have a timer sitting on my desk. We're going to edit the timetable to add goes. Save changes. The minute this thing takes off, no path? What you mean? Okay, we're timing it. How long does it take this train to run the course? It's a 100-meter dash for trains. I think we should pause when we are completely stopped. Which is right about now. 29 seconds. Write that down. I fucking hate this. Okay. I mean, we could just back it up, right? I wonder if it goes backwards in the same amount of time. I feel like manually driving, I'm fucking flying. I am flying. I'm zooming. Okay, I'm gonna write down 29. Cool. So now we go. Turn that off. Okay. 29 seconds. Is it slowed by? No! Slow down, slow down, slow down. Is it slowed by having a second freight car? We would assume yes. We would assume yes. We're going to add and wait for 15 seconds to make sure that it tries to wait. Turn on self-driving. Go. Okay. So when this stops here... I didn't do it right. Shit. This is not going as fast as I thought it would be to test. I probably should just rebuild the fucking train. But we can't rebuild Testes McTesty Tester Son. Okay, next station is Norrköping, which is right here, right? Yes. Okay, go here, stop for 15 seconds, please. I think this will be slower. My hypothesis is this will be slower than 29 seconds. Okay, we're frozen. We should wait for 15 seconds. Nope, we did not. That's fine. We're going. I started the timer. My hypothesis is that with 2 freight cars, we're slowed down. I could be wrong. And how much we're slowed down really does matter, because if we get twice the amount of... And stop. I got 30, which is almost the exact... I mean, that's well within my instrument's error, aka my user error range. Okay. Well... I guess let's see... Why? You're docking. I hear you. But... docking is the most confusing thing about these trains to me. There we go. Let's see what happens when we add 2 freight trains. Locomotives. Because that's the thing I guess I'm more interested in, is the speed for power trade-off. If we add a second locomotive, we are taking more power, but we are also gaining speed, hypothetically, if this works as I assume it will, which we'll see. Which is probably the thing I'm more interested in rather than the more delivery or less speed trade-off that would be vice versa. Okay, we need to edit timetable. Add this one, then this one, and save changes. Call it testy. Turn on self-driving. Chat, do you have any predictions? I put them the wrong way. Well, of course we're going to be slower. I put the locomotives the wrong way. Shit. Shit. I mean, that would have been really funny. They're actively fighting each other? They might have been. I honestly don't know. On self-driving. Okay. Hypothetically, this will be faster. That happens to me all the time, putting the trains on backwards. When it takes off, which is... now. Start the timer. This feels fast. Feels much faster. It's gonna be hard to tell. We really should have made this like 1,000, you know, 1,000 times the length, but ain't nobody got time or resources for that. Oh boy. Guys, I got 30. I don't know. It's possible it's possible that the error, the difference is so small that that I'm having trouble measuring it on my shitty little timer. It's also very possible that the combined weight it's possible that the track is way too short to tell, basically. That acceleration is gained by adding a second locomotive is equal to the deceleration that is needed, is equal to the pro of adding a second locomotive is equal to the con, which is that I gain more acceleration, but it takes me longer to decelerate or whatever. Yeah. This is in some ways the worst possible outcome. Which is that we've done a bunch of science and sort of learned nothing. Yeah. The only thing I could think to do to, like, test it is we need to test the theory. If the numbers are that close, then the good news is we're in a pretty good spot no matter what we choose. But I'm very interested in figuring out the, like, actual answer here of, like, is adding more freight trains actually meaning faster runs? So let's test that. This is a straight. There's no curve. It does have acceleration and deceleration. So, with acceleration and deceleration, what happens when I put, like, 10 locomotives on? You've not disproved your null hypothesis? The problem is I don't remember what my null hypothesis was. We're just going to exaggerate it, basically. So if we exaggerate it, put a bunch more freight trains on it. Locomotives, I mean. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 6. Seems fine. Add this one, then this one. Save changes. Testy 6. Turn on self-driving. Three, 2, 1, go. Not listing the not remembering the hypothesis as number one issue of why science doesn't get done. See, if we're gaining as much as we're losing in terms of deceleration, but I got 29 that time, so it's all really fucking close. If we're gaining acceleration but also losing how long it takes me to decelerate, then on longer tracks we still gain more because our top speed gets higher, right? I think that's what we've determined, is that our top speed gets higher. Oh boy, I should probably just front seat this to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly instead of building an entire trade system around it. Okay, I'm going to ask a front seat question. I need to think about how to ask it. Let's do it one step at a time here, right? So, when going between two stations, assuming all other things are equal, I'm going to ask this. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this correctly. I'm probably going to ask a series of questions. I'm just going to phrase it as, and you can tell me that the answer is hazy if you need to. Exclamation hazy if you need to. Assuming all else is equal, which is a funny phrase, this 1-to-1 train and this 2-to-2 train, which one hits the higher top speed? Which one hits the higher top speed, assuming all else is equal? Front seat question. Everything in me tells me that it should be the 2-to-1. Identical. I mean, that was also a possibility. Okay. Identical top speed, assuming all other things are equal. Okay. Next question. Which of these traverses that path quicker? Assuming all things are equal. Which one is quicker on the on the thing? This is where I'm guessing the number of variables highly depends, but we'll see. Yeah, Hazy. I'm guessing it depends on the amount of curves that you have to go through, because you decelerate when in a curve, and that includes, so like this train, if this train enters a curve, it has 3 cars to be in the curve where you decelerate, and this one only has 2, meaning it spends less time overall either decelerating or losing speed, I guess would be another way to say it. God, my physics understanding is so bad. I think that's probably one of the variables. Can I propose a test setup? At this point, yes. Don't tell me any answers, but propose a test setup, and I will either run it or I will just ask a front seat question about what the answer is, because I am. It's 3:35, and I need to get off here in a second. I'm trying to think what else would be different between these two. They reach identical top speeds. Okay, I have one more front seat question, Shammy. And or whoever. Between these two trains, assuming all else is equal, which has a greater rate of acceleration? 1 or 2? Like 2-to-1 or 1-to-1? If acceleration is also identical, then... If acceleration is also identical... Identical. Okay, Shammy. Are all of the answers to the questions the same if I add a second freight car? Like... Jamie is our main spokesperson. Shout out to Spoiler Chat. I appreciate you all. Are all of the questions I just asked you the same if I add a second freight car? Their top speed, same? Yes. Okay. So, this is interesting. Let me think through that real quick, and then I'm going to read Tactical Fluke's question. So, or idea. So, their top speed is the same. And we know that the weight inside... So, it might just be that trains in this game are fucking simple. It might just be that trains in this game are so fucking simple. That might be it. Okay, one more question. Oh, you're good, Tony. You're good. Thanks. Chat's being great right now. Chat's being great. I'm asking a lot of front seat questions. And I gave permission. Okay. Next question. I asked between the same amount of freight cars, but I did not ask between different amounts of freight cars. Oh, you're totally good, Tony. You're totally good. We're lost in the sauce right now on train systems. And so so we're good. We're good. Yeah, Tony's just doing his job, Tactical Fluke. He's just being careful. We've had some unnecessary front seating this week, which was really annoying. So Tony's just looking out for me. Okay. Front seat question. Is the top speed of 1-to-1, this one, the same as top speed of this one? Yes or no? The top speed is the same. Okay. Second question. Will this train take the same time as this train to traverse a route, assuming all other things are equal, like they're doing the same route, etc.? Will they take the same amount of time? Top speed is different than will they take the same amount of time, which is why I'm asking this question separately. They will take the same amount of time. Then there's truly no reason to not... That's insane. What? Am I crazy for saying that shouldn't be how it works? That's bonkers. What? I'm not actually saying that shouldn't be how it works, but everything in me feels that that is wrong. Because... Yes, but... Okay, interesting. That means the trade-off that you're going for between these two is not the speed with which they will traverse the track. It is the space they take up on the track, and that's the negative that you're giving off, and the amount that you're moving, which is the positive. One more question, just to make sure that I'm doing it. Is the acceleration and deceleration for this one the same as the acceleration and deceleration for this one? I think it would have to be, right? Because you said it would take the same amount of time for the track. I don't fucking know, man. My head hurts. Jesus Christ. Yes, it's the same. Okay. Hard Tama? Oh, boy. Okay, what was Tactical Fluke's potential idea? Set up identical parallel tracks, wire them together, put a power switch between them and the rest of the network, set up 2 trains to compare. I like that. Power switch to make sure they start at the exact same time. Interesting. What can a Hard Tama be on at this point? It does say nicknamed Leif by Fix-It Pioneers because of its reliability. Is that a Leif Erikson joke? What is that? Leif? Reliability? Meaning it just goes and pulls the same shit at the same speed no matter how much fucking shit is on there? Jesus Christ. So if everything you guys just told me is true, that means that it does not matter in terms of speed how much stuff, how many freight cars you put on the back of a locomotive. It also does not matter how many locomotives you stack on the front of a train. They will cover the same distance in the same amount of time. The space, again, is the consideration and the amount of stuff that you need. Except there's a Hard Tama, which is something that I'm not understanding, but oh boy. Interesting. I mean, space matters because it matters a lot for your signaling. Like, this is, you know, much longer than this in terms of comparison because signaling all of a sudden gets really complex if you need to, like, put a signal here, put a signal here. This takes up way more space to go all the way down here. Uh-oh, why is dismantle crate everywhere? Uh-oh. Propose that as a yes or a no? That's the hardest. I really want to Tama, but I don't want to Tama I've ever heard. Propose that as a yes or a no. I need to dump some stuff out of my inventory. Chat, will a front seat question, will a train go the same speed and cover... Will a train cover a route in the same amount of time, no matter how many locomotives or freight trains it has on it? Yes or no? don't know how that can make any sense. It's possible that I just haven't reached like a critical mass. Is it a critical mass thing? Is it a critical mass thing? Where it's like, what I mean by that is like, once you hit a certain number of freight cars, it starts to slow down. Okay, here's how I'll ask this question. Front seat question. At what point will this train start to slow down? It's got 1 to 1. It's got 1 to 2. Is it, front seat question, is it 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5? What's the number? If it eventually slows down, there has to be a number, specifically. Right? By slow down, I mean traverse a route in a slower time. Uh-oh. When there's not an immediate answer from a front seat question, I start to get nervous. Not because I'm not so thankful for your front seat questions, but because I'm like, oh, shit. So 5 plus. So the ratio of 1 to 5 plus. Okay. So it'll have a greater speed at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then the minute you add, so like if we do this train right here, 1, 2, so sorry, in terms of freight cars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That train will be slower than this train. Dope. Even if that's not exactly correct, even if I had 1 too few freight cars or something, that is very useful information. Okay, hell yeah. Why did they do it that way? I wonder if that's just... Why? I don't know why. I do not know why. Interesting. Seems weird to me, but as a solution. But maybe it's easier to code it that way. I don't know. I have no idea. Cool. All right, we just figured out a bunch of shit. What that tells us, what that tells me, is that the ratio of trains, which is so funny. The ratio of trains is what matters in terms of speed. I think there's crates in the... Yeah, the crates are in here. That's so funny. The crates are all stuck in the track. You see these? The reason I think the ratio's mattering more than the actual, like, physics of all of that is so funny is because that honestly strikes me as, like, a Factorio holdover. That sounds to me like the solution you would put into your game if you had played Factorio. That's just funny to me. Anyways. Either that or they knew that they would have players coming from Factorio. That's just funny. Ryan, I don't know how you have overlays set up. Can I try something real quick? Yes, absolutely. Is it the mod overlay thing? I think the mod overlay is working, if it's related to that. Yeah, try it. I'm keeping my eyes peeled. Neat? Wait. What happened? Oh, shit, I see it. Yes, that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing today. It's hard to figure out placement this way. Yeah, it is. You have to like, you have to move it, then hit save, move it, then hit save. Yeah. This is us for the last 3 hours. It worked, though. I'm happy you tried that out, Tony. I'm really happy that we tried that out. I've been looking forward to getting that thing running for a while. Now the mods control us in whatever way they want. They have my permission. Just shove shit in here. I don't need any of this stuff for now. All right, let's go clean up crates. We've just learned what's important, which is that the amount of The ratio matters. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that we want to try. The question is what we should do with that information. Should we try to fit as much in as possible and play in 1 to 4? Like I said, space is the downside. And if we're doing a system that gives you many, like, if we're doing like an artery and veins type of train system, then space is a commodity when it gets to these tight intersections that trains can only enter when they are not, when there's not another train in the system, in the intersection. I kind of lean towards like a 1 to 2 here. But I could be very wrong. I lean towards 1 to 2. Is this another crate? It is. Crates over here anywhere? God, I have so many materials just sitting out in the world. There should be a thought bubble on his avatar right now. What would you make that thought bubble say? Okay. Thanks for your patience, chat. We're getting there. We're figuring stuff out. Thanks for the lovely front seating. It's funny. I did make some assumptions that if there was no difference between 1 to 1 and 1 to 2, that meant that there would be no difference for anything else. But I guess it makes sense if you were like coding the game that like when you calculate the, rather than institute like a full physics-based system, I guess, about how your train system works, you're just like every individual locomotive adds this amount of acceleration, adds this amount of weight. It's not very instinctive. It does not feel very instinctive, but it does feel like hilariously to me, it kind of feels like a good enough coding solution where it's like, well, I think we got every dismantle. No, one more dismantle crate. They won't really know unless they try and break it by going for like 400 freight cars. That's funny. Yeah, it's probably just, I don't know. It's probably just that it's an easier, like, coding thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about game design to tell you, but interesting. I'm glad we know that now. Shout out to the front seat system. It worked. Let's Game It Out tested a lot of freight cars. Is Let's Game It Out the thing I keep being told to watch when I get done playing the game? We've been discussing how trains work in spoiler chat for a good minute. It sounds like we all use them a bit differently than one another and have different experiences with it. Honestly, I had a lot of fun and learned some things myself. Somebody in chat said earlier that trains are the thing with the most tutorials on YouTube. Like, there's a ton of train tutorials on YouTube. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Not to keep comparing it to the game, but like same deal with Factorio, where it's like trains get complex. Train signaling is not always very intuitive. There's just so many choices you can make, and you make them and then you build an entire system, and it fucks with your entire system if you did it wrong, you know? Like our extra stuff in here. Got pulled away suddenly to deal with some frustrating apartment stuff. Not apartment stuff. Hope you're having fun with trains. I did have fun with trains. Thank you. I'm sorry, Carly. Everything end up all right? I hope so. Okay. What we should probably do is do one last run of bringing stuff to here. And then, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I had more fun doing train stuff than... Oh, nice, Tony. Nice. I think what I'm going to probably do is... we should take a step back right now and talk about stuff. But So we're kind of at a crossroads right now where I want to play with trains. I want to make trains. I want to work on oil and stuff. I don't really want to waste a ton of time, but I have a lot of like background stuff that needs done. I need to get a bunch of stuff plugged into our vertical bus, you know? Tons of it. And that means waiting on encased industrial beams, etc. I also need to upgrade like our entire factory into Mark IV belts. I am probably gonna do those things off camera, most likely before our next stream, because it's just gonna be time intensive. Another thing I want to do is go update our blueprint so that the names of all of these are over on our blueprint. And to do that, it's going to be like this. I have to run up, hit C. Did that work? Hit Control C. Run all the way over here. Control V. Hit Control V and then do that again like 32 more times. So I'm probably going to do all of that off camera in between episodes, in between streams, just because I don't feel like it's particularly... Just because I feel like I could do it and it would keep our series moving a little bit faster and on to the next thing. You guys have watched me do enough belts, so... But yeah. I also don't know that I'll be streaming Satisfactory next week because I'm probably only going to get to stream one day next week, and I think we'll probably stream something different. So it might be a little bit before we come back to Satisfactory, but at the very least, it'll just be 2 weeks. So anyways, that's going to do it for Satisfactory today. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out while I lost my brain with... Lost my mind... with trains. See ya. Bye. Carly says, whoa, can you hear me? Was my microphone working? Whoa! My microphone stopped working. Shit. Okay, it's back now. My bad. That was weird. I accidentally deleted the source. Sorry, I read your comment out loud. Nothing is resolved yet, but it should be fine eventually. In theory, who knows? I said, I'm really sorry, Carly. I hope it works out. That's my streamer. And then I said, I'm so sorry. My bad, guys. My bad. Tech issues. And then I said, I'll see you guys tonight for board game night in like 3.5 hours. So I need to go figure out a whole setup on a different computer in a different room to see if I can make that work. Pretty par for the course. It's true. Would have been a great troll. I promise I didn't do it